Could it be? With me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome to Washington Football Overtime. Saints football team dressed in all black like the Omen, which means we took one on the chin. You see the black background, which means this shit is over, okay? The black background is a reflection of what this season is going to look like moving forward. This was one of those games that we had to get, and there's a lot of things fundamentally wrong with what we saw today, and we're going to address that today because, honestly, this was a lousy day. I just watched the Eagles come back and beat the Panthers. We lose this game. The Cowboys are going to beat the Giants more likely than not. They're going to run away and hide with this division. And so it's one of those days where you kind of come to that realization that first week of October, what are we? Second week of October, this shit's over, man. This shit is over. Now, we're only one game under 500, but with the Chiefs and the Packers coming up, and I've said neither one of those teams are juggernauts, but their offenses are good enough to put up 40 apiece on this defense, and we're not good enough to score 40, as you could see clearly today. Neither one of their defenses is the Saints defense. Doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get to the comment section, see what you guys have to say. Don't want to miss any super chats, so we'll get right to the proceedings this evening. Got a super chat here from Fa'altus. Thank you for the super chat, Fa'altus. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou, you got mad when I said DeShazer on the field. How can it be a bad thing having the longest tenured secondary and multi-year captain on the field? 3 wide open touchdowns and Jameis and a pathetic Hail Mary. KC gonna break records. I don't remember being upset when you suggested DeShazer be put on the field. I don't, you know I love DeShazer Everett. I don't have a DeShazer Everett problem. So I don't recall getting upset. It might have been more me being annoyed by the fact that I know they're not going to do anything. They're not going to bench anybody. They're not going to make any changes. So I'm not going to talk about something that I know isn't going to happen. They're not going to sit anybody down. They're not going to make any big changes. That's not what they're going to do. I mean, the real changes will come in the offseason when Landon Collins is released. They get out of that contract. When they move on from some guys that are here right now that won't be here next year, like John Bostic, that's when the real changes will take place. They're not going to take place in season. And I think that's probably more along the lines of what I was alluding to. I don't know if I was more annoyed or upset about, what you had said. I love DeShazer Everett. If you watched this program, I have an affinity for DeShazer Everett. So the fact that they went out and did what they did in free agency shows you that they don't believe in DeShazer Everett, whether it's to stay healthy or they just don't think he's the answer. They went in a different direction for a reason. So you got the answers pretty much with what they did. Their actions gave you the answers in the offseason. So let's get to the next super chat. Thank you for that super chat. For Altus. I know I probably butchered that, and I apologize for that as well. Desi Dez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Desi Dez writes, Del Rio needs to go. His scheming and game planning is not where it's at. Again, I would love to rail on Jack Del Rio, man. I really would, but these players aren't playing at a high level. I mean, the touchdown, are you kidding me? How many times are we going to see the same shit? It's like on replay where the free safety over the middle of the field has the deep third, or not in this case, not the free safety. Landon Collins has the deep third over the middle. We're trying to disguise shit, trying to be cute. If you can't get the simple shit right, you can't be disguising anything. So we're out here trying to disguise what we're in, and Landon's supposed to be bailing and busting his ass to get back. He doesn't, and he's already not that fast to begin with, and the fastest player on the field smokes him. How is that on Jack Del Rio? I don't know. I would love to know. If you've got an explanation, I'd love to hear it. How about the Hail Mary? No Washington player jumped except Benjamin St. Juste, who was behind the guy that caught the damn touchdown. If that's on Jack Del Rio, shoot me. Shoot me right in the chest. Pilo Dollars. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Pilo writes, Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you, first and foremost, who writes, at this point, I would just keep both my safeties deep all game. At least we might hold people to 3 points. This is getting sad. But if you do that, then you're light in the box and you might give it up on the ground. So I wouldn't keep both my safeties in the box. I would just tell my free safety, keep your ass back. Don't come up for shit. Just now, the problem with that is if he sees something over the middle of the football field and his keys tell him to go react to it, he's not, because you told him to stay back. So you're damned if you do damned. We just need smarter football players. That's what it all boils down to, is we need smarter. We don't have enough smart football players on the back end. We need smarter football players, better football players on the back end. We don't have that. So I think that's where the hang up is right now. We just don't have smart players back there. J Sauer 1990, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Jackson and Collins need to go. Cosme's loss was felt. I didn't think we had any more pressure off the right side when he got hurt. It sucked to see him go down. He was playing so well, and he was holding it down early in the game. I thought there was a little bit more attention having to be given to Cornelius Lucas at right tackle. That said, I didn't feel like there was any imminent pressure. It's not like 3 sacks were had on that right side after he left. And the bottom line is we didn't play well. And the Saints, give them credit. They're good defensively. And I told you this was not the game to throw up those wish balls and just, leave balls hanging up in the air. They're an opportunistic secondary. They will pick that shit off. And they did. And oh, by the way, our number one guy, Terry, got his ass locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. He got locked up. Goddamn, Marshawn Lattimore put the cuffs on his ass and slammed the damn door shut. Clink, clink. That's why you need another dude. Bless DeAndre Carter's heart. He gave us everything he has. We didn't have a number 2 receiver out there. That's why you paid for Curtis Samuel. Never, ever trust a man with 2 names, and now you're seeing why. Jizzle, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Jizzle writes, secondary may not be the worst ever, but they make the worst mistakes. Laughing my ass off. With all the things we did right in the first half, Lou, we just think. And you know what? That's the most frustrating part about this game. We started the opposite way. Instead of us starting slow, we started fast defensively. And the offense, this was a game in which we needed the offense to take advantage of the opportunities the defense was giving them. Normally, the defense don't give them shit, and they got to do it all on their own. Well, the defense said, we're going to give you great field position on your opening possession. That resulted in a field goal. We're going to give you great field position on your second possession or your third possession, because they got the easy touchdown over the top to take the lead 7-3 on their second possession. We're going to give you a great start to your third possession with the interception or the fumble, that Chase Young forced, and nothing. They got nothing for us. The offense literally had nothing for us in this football game. And that was frustrating. And you know what? That also was an eye-opening experience today. That you know what Taylor Heinicke is? He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a fun guy. He can make things happen. He's exciting, but he's a boom or bust type of guy. He giveth, he taketh away. He's no different than Ryan Fitzpatrick. None. No different. Just a little bit more athletically gifted. That's it. Less stronger arm, too. Fitzpatrick can zing it in there from time to time. Heinicke cannot. He's no different. He'll make some plays, and he'll get you excited, and then he'll make some stupid decisions and some poor throws, and then his arm strength or lack thereof shows up. He's not the answer. Love him to death. Not the answer. He's a great backup quarterback. I want him on this team. I do not want to move on from him after this season. He's got another year left on his contract. I'd love to bring him back. Kyle Allen can go on. If they feel like Heinicke can't stay healthy because he got his ass banged up today, and he's a small guy too. Don't forget about that. They can move on from Kyle Allen if they like. If they want to keep him, if it doesn't cost them much, sure, bring him back. I don't care. But we got to go get the young guy next year. Absolutely. And we'll be in a position to do it. We're not going to win. I shouldn't say that, because I still think we're going to win 6 or 7 games this year. And more likely than not, it's going to put you in somewhere in that 11 to 13 range in the draft. And you're probably going to have to trade up if you want a guy. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for the super chat, Jizzle. Dewan Porch, greatly appreciate you. My guy, Dewan Porch, writes, TLH, the legend of Heinicke, it grows. And he'll have some more moments this year. He'll have some more moments. and we'll be excited. But he's nothing more than a high-level backup quarterback in this league. And that's okay. That is okay. For the journey and the ride that he's taken to get to where he is now, he should be very appreciative of the opportunity that's being presented to him. But he's nothing more than a high-level NFL backup, which you need in this league to be successful. So that's how I look at him right now. And I will say this about Terry. Terry got locked up today, but Terry had some opportunities, and Taylor Heinicke made some bad throws, some balls behind him that if it's put out in the right spot, Terry makes some catches. It'll look a lot worse because some of those balls were behind Terry, and that allowed Marshawn Lattimore to make plays. But the fact of the matter is he was in Terry's hip pocket for the most part, for the better part of the day. Let's keep a buck, but Terry had some more opportunities if he had better throws from Heinicke, and he didn't. So let me just say that. He said, I don't know what to say. So many missed opportunities. This is from Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the story of the day. One of the keys to the game was you got to score in the red zone. The defense gave us great field position. I've been bitching and complaining about field position all season long about how we need to have more field position, better scoring opportunities. And they gave us that early in the game, and we didn't take advantage of it. And you knew that was going to come back to haunt us eventually. Did you really think the defense was going to keep up what they gave us? And honestly, I'm going to tell you what deflated us. What deflated me, I can't speak for the players on the field. That Hail Mary before halftime deflated me. I was so confident we were going to win in the first half. And that Hail Mary before that, oh, man. I came in and I told the mob after halftime, right before halftime when it happened, I said, that's the kind of shit that makes you not want to watch the rest of the game. Like, it felt like a gut punch. And then after halftime for the opening kickoff of the third quarter, I said, I felt really good before the Hail Mary. I'm not that confident anymore. I still think we can win, but I don't feel as confident anymore. And I kind of sense that with the team as well. But that could just be me. So many missed opportunities is the theme of the day. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I'm scared to read this super chat. Thank you for the super chat, JP. Greatly appreciate you. Taylor got exposed yet again. QB in 2022, please. Okay, that's not bad. That's reasonable, and I'm with you. You got to get the quarterback this year. I think Ron and company view it that way. Here's the problem. I don't love any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft class. That's the problem. Got to watch some more Malik Willis. He seems to be doing some really fun things out at Liberty, but it's still Liberty. It's still not, big time college football. So we got excited about AGG. Look at what he's doing. Nothing. So I don't want to get too high on this Malik Willis guy, but I don't love any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft class. It's not a great, deep draft class of quarterbacks. So we got plenty of time to parse through them, as this season is pretty much on life support at this point. We'll have plenty of time to parse through these quarterbacks throughout the season. Home Sports. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Home Sports writes, at least we will see history next week. Mahomes only needs about 75,000 yards to break Brady's yardage record. It's doable against us. You're not wrong. He might break that in the first half against this secondary. If we don't hit home, he might break that in the first half. So we'll see. History could be made next week. And we've seen it done against this defense many a times. Won't be the first, probably won't be the last. So we'll see. Zacchaeus Maggette III. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, you told us to go watch baseball for predicting certain records, but 2-15 is looking more like, okay, again, we're not going to lose every game the rest of the season. When you talk crazy like that, that's when I get perturbed and I start dismissing you, okay? You could go watch baseball. I'm still watching baseball. You can go watch baseball. The season is not over. But those of you declaring 1-15 after 2 weeks of football, those of you declaring 2 and whatever after 3 or 4 weeks of football, yeah, go watch baseball. Guess what? Whether we win one more game this season or no more games this season, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be here watching the games. I'm not going to bitch and complain about what this is or that is, or 2-15 this or 2-15 that. It's not going to be a great season. We needed to win this game, and the schedule is tough, and we knew that going into the season. But to declare 2-15, and you want to double down on it? You want to come back and double down on it? B-Ball God, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, B-Ball God, writes, Lou, didn't I say more Cam, less Landon? I mean, Cam got work today, too. What happened to Cam on the touchdown to Alvin Kamara? Where was he at? Where your ass was at when Kamara was out in the flats looking for a touchdown? Where your ass was at? I told you guys, y'all wanna make everything so simple. Can it be that it was all so simple then? You want it to just be Cam. You want it to just be Landon Collins. You want it to just be Bobby McCain. You want it to just be John Bostic. You want it to just be William Jackson III. You want to find a scapegoat. Well, guess what? Newsflash, it's every damn body. Everybody's taking turns effing up on defense. That's what y'all find it hard. Cam is not going to fix this defense by himself. He's making mistakes too, just like everybody else. It's all of them. That's what you guys fail to understand. You keep trying to have these scapegoats. Do certain guys make more mistakes than others? Sure. Absolutely. And I'm not against more Cam. I want more Cam Curl. He's going to be here. Landon Collins is not. So I'm all for more Cam Curl. But guess what? Cam Curl is effing up too. You know what I'm saying? Cole Holcomb is effing up too. He had a pick today. That was great. He should have given up a long-ass pass down the sidelines to Alvin Kamara. Everybody's taking turns effing up. It's not just one guy. You can try to make it out to be one guy. It was 6 dudes down there, William Jackson III, and every damn corner except Benjamin St. Juice, every secondary member just watching the ball. Oh, I hope my teammate jumps. I hope the guy next to me jumps. Damn, that shit's pretty damn high. Jameis did a good job throwing that shit up there for an opportunity. Ain't nobody gonna jump. The rookie's the only one trying to jump, and he's getting boxed out by the guy that caught the damn football. Shit's embarrassing. It's not just one guy. Stop trying to make a scapegoat out of somebody. Everybody's taking turns effing up. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Rob, writes, Sup, Lou? I'm pulling for Taylor. He can get over the weak arm, but the decision-making is too suspect. Number one needs more reps at wide receiver. I thought DeAndre Carter was outstanding today. He gave us a shot, man. We got the injury to – you know it ain't your year when you keep trying to push the envelope with Curtis Samuel, and every time he comes back, something bad happens. And you realize just how much you need him because he already got injuries at the receiver position. But you're like, look, this is why we went out and got you. If we don't have him, we're back to where we were last year with Isaiah Wright and Dontrell Inman and, Antonio Gandy Golden and all of the bums we had on the roster last year at receiver. We're right back to that again. Now we got Hump and DeAndre stepped up today, but it's pretty much the same. It's not that much difference. It really isn't. Because those guys aren't outside winners. Those guys are slot receivers primarily. Hump and Carter are more so inside guys. But anyway, I digress. I love Taylor. He's my guy, but you got to call a spade a spade. You know when you see it. You know what it is. And I know what it is. You know what it is. Too Legit Reality Check. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Too Legit Reality Check writes, Heinicke is just another backup. He doesn't have it, like I said before. If you said it before, kudos to you. He is a backup quarterback in this league. And the only way you were going to figure that out, like some of you wanted to just christen him a backup right off the gate, right out of the gate, right off the bat. And again, you can't do that. You got to give him an opportunity to prove to you that he is a backup or he's a starter. And he hadn't really forced you to make a decision up until today. I feel like now, I think it's pretty easy to determine that he just doesn't have the ability. One, he's small. Man, he took some shots at the end, and I felt bad. I was like, shit, you all right, man? I wanted to go through the screen and just, pat him on the shoulder like, bro, you okay? Like, he was hurting. He's small. He's tiny. It's not there's no amount of muscle he can put on to change that. He's a small guy. He's got a slender frame. All right, that's number one. Number two, his arm is what it is. You can get past that, though, if you throw with timing and anticipation. He doesn't. He doesn't throw with timing and anticipation. He's constantly late. How many times on that deep over route to Terry where he comes back across the field, how many times has Terry been open and Taylor sees him and then waits and waits and waits until Terry's running out of real estate, now throws it, and here comes a defender from the backside late trying to pick it off? How many times are you going to watch that shit? He doesn't throw with enough anticipation. It's almost like he has to see it first in order for him to cut it loose. But then there's times where you're like, bro, he's not open. Why are you throwing to Curtis Samuel one-on-one where he's being blanketed? What are we, I mean, he's not a jump ball guy. What are we doing? I can see if he had a step. He never had a step. Why? What's the psychological sense in that, bro? You need to wash your face and get your damn mind right. It's too many of those blunders. You're backed up deep in your own territory. The best thing that can happen if you can't get a first down, throw the bitch away or take off and run. Fight to live another day. Punt the ball and let's see if the defense can get something done. Nope. He wants to do it himself. Throws an easy-ass pick. That's backup quarterback shit. That's not starting quarterback stuff. Kevin the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Kevin the PRF, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Writes, this week on Disney Plus Marvel What If series, what if Brett Favre had a weak arm? Exactly. My point, he already threw a lot of interceptions, okay? He would have thrown a lot more, and he would not have been a starter as long as he had been in the league. That's essentially right. Kevin the PRF. He loves Brett Favre. He wants to be Brett Favre. Well, you don't have Brett Favre's arm. Now do you, buddy? Now do you? You can't zing it in there like Brett could, like old Brett could, like he was on a Mississippi farm. You can't do it, but you think you can do it. That's problematic. When the dude at the gym that thinks he's got handles, that always wants to have a rock, thinks he can dribble, but he really can't, that's a problem. And that's what we have in Taylor Heinicke. He's a guy that thinks he can zing it in there, but he really can't. Ain't no half Stephen. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ain't no half Stephen writes, what's the sense of when you need to look at defensive formation when you see number 26 being the last line of defense as a safety in a cover 2 or Tampa 2? At the end of the day, when you're in Tampa 2 or you're in cover 2, that's not the problem. That's not the problem we're having. We don't play a lot of that anyway, to be honest with you. That's not the problem we're having when we got 2 deep safeties. Our problem is when we got 1 deep safety, which is a lot of the time. That's when we're running into issues because our deep safety over the middle of the football field isn't being responsible and isn't doing his job. His discipline isn't being, he doesn't have discipline. His eye discipline is terrible, and we're making the same mistakes on a weekly basis. And you get tired of hearing dudes say, yeah, it's just a mistake here. It's one guy making a mistake. Well, if that one guy is making a mistake and it keeps being a safety, well, on these big plays at least, now, it's not always a safety on 3rd and 11 or on 3rd and 7. But if it's going to keep being a safety, bench both of their asses then. Bench both of them. Give me 2 dudes that can actually run the defense. I don't need ex-Pro Bowlers back there. Just give me dudes that's going to do the damn job. And if that's Jeremy Reeves and DeShazer Everett, or if it's Cam Curl and DeShazer Everett, or if it's Jeremy Reeves and Cam Curl, I don't give a shit what the combination looks like. Just give me 2 dudes that's going to do the job right. I'd much rather lose with that than the shit we putting on the field. And I said that 2 weeks ago. Ron has got to start holding dudes accountable. Don't keep telling me, oh, it's one guy here and it's one guy there, and then it's the safety still giving up the deep ball. It's one guy here, one guy there on 3rd and 7. Like the touchdown, William Jackson III. We a man, bro. We a man. You're going to take the route all the way around instead of going underneath. You're going to go all the way around the earth. It's man, bro. Unless you communicated with Juice that we switching on anything outbreaking, that's your man. How is it that he's 17 yards away from you down by the end zone on 3rd and 7? It wasn't that hard of a combination to cover. I mean, what are we doing? But like I said, if the safeties are going to keep making these big, because the ones I can't stand are these 69-yarders that are uncontested. Make Jameis Winston. You saw the shit Jameis was doing today. Make Jameis beat you. We gave up 2 stupid-ass deep ball touchdowns. That's the game. That's the goddamn game. Make Jameis Winston beat you. He's a clown. And we made him look like he was a goddamn baller today. Protect Sports Network. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Protect Sports Network writes, congrats on 19K. You my guy. Love you, bro. Likewise, man. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate you. The real celebration will begin when we get to 20, but it's always a milestone when you hit that next style. So I appreciate that. Protect Sports Network. Much love. J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a valued member of the MOBB who writes, I've lost all hope for this team. Taylor Heinicke, NTA at quarterback. Not look, I haven't lost all hope in this team. I haven't lost all hope for this season. I've lost most of it. Most of it. This was a big one. This wasn't like last week in the sense of you lose this game, shit's over. If we were lost last week, I would have told you, okay, let's start having this conversation about quarterbacks. Like, what y'all trying to do? I'm not ready to have that conversation yet. We're not there yet. But you know where this shit is trending. I know where it's headed, okay? I know where it's going. You know where it's going. You see the schedule. You know what it is. You know how this goes. You see what Dallas is doing. You see what this division is. You see where it's headed. So I don't have to act and pretend like this is last year where, hey, you know, I got to come here and try to convince you, hey, we still got a shot. We're not out of this thing. I'm not going to do that this year because it's a different year and I see what is happening. I see the writing on the wall. But I haven't lost all hope in this team because you still got to go out and play the games. And you see what I was saying, we're not going to get the benefit of Russell Wilson being out, but what if we had? That's why you can't just say, well, shit's over, because you don't know what the season. Patrick Mahomes could get hurt tonight, be out for 2 weeks, and we could benefit from that. You don't really know what's going to happen, but you can't count on that either. I wouldn't advise you to, and I'm not rooting for that either. We can't keep getting by because some other team had some unforeseen circumstances and we get a backup quarterback. No, if this defense is going to get better, they need to get better by putting their damn foot to the fire and getting it done, or just get your ass beat so we can figure out who can and who can't, and we can get the guys who can't the hell out of here. So I'm not looking for any shortcuts. If they come, you know I'll take them, but I'm not begging for nothing. I don't want any handouts when it comes to these quarterbacks. We want to be good defensively or as a team. You got to find a way to beat good teams. Clearly, we're not there yet. It's year 2 of Ron's plan, though. I'm not complaining about that. I'm disappointed when we lose games. I told you, when you get your ass whooped by Buffalo, they're Buffalo, we're us. I expect us to lose to them. Just like I expect to lose to the Chiefs and the Packers and the Buccaneers and teams like that. We're not in their class, and we know that. It's when we lose to teams that I look at and I say, they're not, especially the Saints, in the state that they're in. They're so banged up. I know we're banged up. They're worse off than we are. There's no excuse for injuries because they got way more guys that are more impactful out of their lineup than we do on our lineup, and they took it to our ass like they had all they dudes. Even with the mistakes they made. Could you imagine if Jameis doesn't throw the pick and have the fumble and they don't rough the kicker? This is a blowout. It's a blowout. Brendan McCloskey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a valued member of the MOBB who writes, we had our best defensive effort today and still gave up 30 and a freaking Hail Mary. Why is this team so inconsistent? Send Collins to the moon. I couldn't agree with you more. I was having a conversation with my guy, Derek B, in the mob, and he was saying, you know, that this was the best defensive effort of the day, and he still wasn't satisfied. That was in the first half when it actually was the best defensive day. And I said, this is by far, in a way, the best defensive effort. And even with the mistakes in the second half and not being able to get stops when we needed it, it was still by far and away the best defensive effort of the season. You could throw it up there with the Chargers went up, and the Chargers only scored 20 points, but the Chargers destroyed us on third downs. The Saints didn't do that to us in this game. They weren't prolific on third downs like the Chargers were. They didn't eat up the whole game, and we just got lucky with a couple of turnovers when they got into the red zone looking to score. That's not what happened in this game. The defense actually made plays. They stepped up and gave us opportunities. You got to credit their punter, too. He pinned us deep and killed any offensive momentum that we were trying to build. We got scared. I thought the play calling down there was awful when we did have those opportunities, and there were some missed opportunities. At the end of the day, this is a total team effort loss. And I'm disappointed that for the first time, the defense showed life and the offense couldn't match their energy. And, it's not fair to really degrade the offense because without them, we're 0-5 right now. But because of them, we have 2 wins in the left-hand column. But it still sucks that when the defense finally shows up and gives you opportunities, I've been crying. I can't speak for y'all. I've been crying and bitching and complaining all year. We don't ever have great field position, and we always got to go 80 yards for a touchdown. And the defense said, I hear you, man. Stop crying. Here, take this interception. Here, take this fumble. And what do we do with it? Here, take this roughing the passer penalty or roughing the kicker penalty. And what do we do with it? Field goal, got 1 touchdown. And that was only because they extended the drive with a roughing the kicker. I mean, it's pathetic, man. It sucks that we can't play complementary football. You hear about it all the time. Offense has to do their job. Defense has to do their job. When the offense is struggling, defense has to pick them up. When the defense is struggling, the offense has to pick them up. And special teams has to contribute. It's complementary football. Well, we don't ever seem to do that now, do we? It's somebody always fumbling the damn baton. The offense passes the baton to the defense after a touchdown. Go get a stop. They drop the damn baton and fumble the shit on the ground. And the offense, usually the other team, goes down the field and scores. Gives the baton back to the defense, out of breath. We try. Here you go. Bring it back again. And I promise we'll try to be better next time. Well, the defense this time, they were feeling good. Beginning of the game, they haul ass. They gave the baton to the offense. Here you go. Offense fumbles the damn baton. That's been the story of our season this year. Never both sides of the football playing as one. It's always one or the other. Hard to beat teams in this league when you consistently do that. It's a damn shame. You're right. Best defensive effort of the day, still gave up 30. And that's rough. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Greatly appreciate you, JP, who writes, KC, Green Bay, Tampa, Denver, Vegas, Carolina, and Dallas all coming up. Looking like we won't win another game the rest of the year. Top 5 pick. Here we come. Again, we're going to win a game or two in there. I wouldn't be shocked if we beat, Denver. Carolina is not all that great. Their defense is good, though, but Carolina isn't great. Vegas can be beaten on any day. And I'm not afraid of anybody in this division, Dallas included. So I'm not afraid of anybody, anytime, anywhere. You can get beat in this league. We've seen it. That's why they play the games. If that were the case, don't even show up next week. Kansas City just get the win. That's not how it works. But that's not an easy schedule. We already knew that, though. So we'll see what happens. Still got to go out and play them. We'll see what happens. Desi Dez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Desi Dez, who writes, we might as well play cover 2 man and hopefully don't give up the big play with these bums. I mean, if you had the dudes to do that, that's what the Saints do. I mean, that's essentially what the Saints do is just, hey, we're going to man you up. Beat us. There are a number of teams in the league that just do that. Play man across the board and say, all right, beat us. It's our guy against yours. We don't have the dogs to do that. You got to have dogs to do that. We not built like that, man. I told you, we got pups. Make a lot of noise. Ain't nobody scared, though. Ain't nobody scared. So you can do that in theory because everything looks good on paper. But guys still got to go out and cover. So it's tough. It's tough. Rob you, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Rob you, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Writes, is it me or are 26 and 23 on every long TD miscue? Yeah, it seems that way, but I'm telling you right now, it's not on William Jackson III because they're playing cover 3 essentially. So when he turns that guy over to the middle, now, if there's no deep threat on your side of the field, which there wasn't on that touchdown, you'd like William Jackson III to say, you know what, I'm going to just keep running with this dude. But it could easily, that route that he went underneath on, the out and up, the linebacker was there underneath that. But if that guy then goes out and up and he goes with that post, now his responsibility isn't being fulfilled. And now if Jameis throws it down the sideline to a wide open running back who ran an out and up and he thought, oh, he's only running the out and I can go with this deep post. Now it's his problem. He's doing the right thing. You turn that deep post over to the safety who's supposed to be over the middle of the football field. He wasn't there because he was trying to disguise coverage. Oh, I'm only 12 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Turn around and bust your ass to get back. He's over here jogging, trying to play like, oh, I'm in the middle here. I'm playing a little bit of everything. Get your ass back. You ain't no 4-4 dude. Never have, never will be. Got smoked. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Red Wings 01 who writes, when will they realize that Landon is a liability? I don't know. We have this conversation every single week. I know this guy is supposed to be one of the vocal leaders in the locker room. I know this guy's getting paid a lot of money. I don't care. I don't care. Bench him. I don't care. Bench him. Bench his ass. That's what I want to do. Put somebody in there that can get the job done. Because I can tell you this, we didn't miss a beat when his ass got hurt last year. Next man up. You keep talking about next man up mentality. He keeps being the culprit every single week. Then sit his ass down, make a statement to the rest of the squad. If you can't do your job adequately, we'll get somebody else in there that can. That's what you should be doing. You want to change the culture? That's what you do in these situations. You don't reward guys for making the same damn mistakes. Now, this has been a thing that I've heard from Carolina fans, that Ron is loyal to a fault. And I like loyalty. I really do. I like the fact that he's stuck with Dustin Hopkins. A lot of you don't like that. I do. Okay? Because guys aren't going to be perfect. Mistakes are going to be made. And you want guys to be able to know that I'm okay making a mistake and that you're going to stick with me and give me a chance to redeem myself. Now, what I'm not okay with is the habitual offender. That's when I got to draw the line. When you're a habitual line stepper. And again, if Dustin Hopkins were missing field goals and not extra points, if he were 4 of 8 this year, we got a problem. Dustin Hopkins is like 9 of 10 this season in the field goal department. In case some of you out there aren't keeping track. It's not like he's been terrible this year. Just everything is magnified because he came into the season with some question marks. But when a guy like Landon Collins, who, keep in mind, was struggling before he got injured last year, comes back after the injury and he's picking right up where he left off, hurting this defense on a weekly basis and continuing to make the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why is he still playing? Send a message to the rest of the roster. Either you do it the way we coach you or get the hell out of the lineup. Let him run down and play some damn special teams. I don't see it happening, though. I don't. Because they want to do the, hey, it's not just one guy, which it isn't, but on these long-ass touchdowns, it's the same position. May not be the same guy every week, but it's the same position. It was Bobby McCain last week. It was Landon Collins the week before. It was Landon Collins again this goddamn week. Same damn song over and over again. I don't know, Red Wings 01. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I could give you some real credible answer there, but I can't. I don't have the answer for you, man. Glizzy McGuire. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Glizzy McGuire writes, sup, Lou? Sup, Glizzy? Heinicke was way too reckless with the football today and missing too many wide open receivers. At least the D-line played a lot better. That they did. I was pleased with what we got out of the D-line. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more pressure in the second half, but all in all, they tried to get to Jameis a couple of times, just missed him. He got out of the pocket. I told you Jameis is in the best shape of his career. He was able to elude us a couple of times. Montez did draw a holding penalty on one of those plays. He incompleted it anyway, and they had to punt. But the D-line was really solid in this game. And that's what I'm talking about. We wasted a good effort from the defense. Really, we did. I know you're going to point to, well, we got it to a one-score game, and we had a chance, and we were down 5 at 22 to 27, and they couldn't get the ball back, or whatever the hell the score was. They scored a touchdown. What was it? 20. Yeah, it's 27 to 22. How the hell they end up with 30? Okay, they ended up with 33 because they missed the extra point. That left it at 11, which gave us a shot at least. Anyway, that's the frustrating part. Is we got a solid performance. Like, this is a winning for what we've been accustomed to this year. This was a winning performance by the defense. Unfortunately, you give up the Hail Mary, you give up the stupid ass touchdown on the second possession of the game, and honestly, you take those two, which is what my guy Derek B said. You take those two away. It wasn't a bad performance before the end of the game. A couple of touchdown drives, but he said you can't take those away, and he's right. You can't take those away. Heinicke was terrible today, man. Let's call a spade a spade. Keep it a buck and some change. He was filthy and funky today. He really was. He didn't give us a chance. He really did not. From that first interception that he threw to the missed opportunities, the missed receivers. How about on the opening drive? DeAndre Carter wide ass open. 1st and 10 inside the Saints 15-yard line. Where the hell was that throw at, bro? Like, Heinicke was some shit today. He really was. Miles, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Miles writes, Julie Donaldson play-by-play is worse than the defense. I can only imagine. I've never heard it. I will never hear it because I have a television set. So I don't need the play-by-play from the Washington, football team, broadcast network or whatever the hell they call it. But this is the first year doing it, right? Or was last year her first year doing it? I don't know. I guess this year is the first year. I don't know. I don't care. I don't doubt you though. I don't doubt that she's terrible, but I don't know if she is or not. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Big Money Sonny, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, flat out disappointed. This team is full of simpletons. The most disappointing part about this season, because again, I still think we end up where I thought we would end up when the season started. I said this is a 7 as a floor, 10 as a ceiling type of football team from a win standpoint. Still think we end up with 6 or 7 wins. 6 is a little bit lower than what I had forecasted, but I think we find a way to win a game or two that we were not expecting. And we're going to win at least 3 more games in the division. Between the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys, we're going to get 3 out of those 5 games down the stretch, I believe. Because this team's going to fight and continue to play hard for Ron Rivera, no matter if we're in it or out of it, which will probably be long gone by the time we get to those final 5 weeks of the season where we have 5 straight division games. That said, I still think we get to 7. It's just disappointing because the way we are going to get to 7 wasn't the way that any of us intended to get there. We would be enjoying this season, even if we were still sitting here at 2 and 3. We'd be enjoying this season a lot more if we were still bitching and complaining about this offense being terrible and the defense being dominant and needing help. Because at least the future looks brighter when you look at it that way, because the stuff that you've invested in is actually giving you a return on your investment. You know what I'm saying? You feel a lot better when you go out and you spend $250 on a pair of kicks and you wear the shit out of those kicks. And you're like, man, I got my damn money's worth out of these shoes, right? Like, that's why I love foam posits. You know why? Because foams are indestructible. Yeah, it's $250 for a pair. It's $300 for a pair. All right, they're going to bust you over the skull. But I know I'm getting my money's worth out of those damn phone posits. Versus buying a pair of Jordans. Shit, I don't even have to wear them. If they're white, they'll be cream if I wear them once and leave them out and let the air get to them. God forbid they got an icy bottom sole. That shit will turn nice and orange on me. Give me the foams, man. I can wear those anywhere. They get the job done. And that's how I would feel about this season, even if we were sitting here at 2-3, but the defense is doing what we thought. But the fact that the defense has regressed, the fact that this offense still doesn't have a clear leader because we don't have a quarterback, it makes a lot of the shit that we're doing feel like we're just running on a hamster wheel. But we're not. We do have talented players. But it's just frustrating because where do you hang your hat? We thought we were going to hang our hat on this hook, which was the defensive hook. But that hook doesn't exist. Well, you take your hat off and you say, okay, well, I'm going to put it on this hook. Well, this is the offensive hook. Well, you can't put it on that hook every week because you got Taylor Heinicke and Ryan Fitzpatrick as your quarterbacks. So where the hell do we hang our hat? I don't know. And that's what is frustrating, is I don't know where to hang my hat. Should I just keep it on my head? I guess. But I really would like to take it off. Thank you for the super chats. The BHHD Washington report. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Jeremy Reeves last year greater than Bobby McCain this year. You won't get any complaints out of me. I told you guys before the season started, I didn't think the safety position was broken. It didn't need to be fixed. I told you guys that. I didn't want Bobby McCain. You guys were excited when we got him. I said, I don't want Bobby McCain. We don't need him. What's wrong with the stuff that we already have? Clearly, the staff thought that those guys weren't good enough. And maybe, just maybe, they were thinking, we need more depth. Those guys got injured on us last year. Landon Collins got injured on us last year. DeShazer Everett got injured on us last year. We can't afford to just have those guys and just expect them to stay healthy. They couldn't do it last year. What's to say they do it this year? Okay, I get that. But my whole thing was DeShazer was good. He wasn't great, but he was good. He was physical. He brought something to the table. Let's not act like we didn't give up big plays last year, because we did. Okay, we did give up big plays last year, but all of them weren't on blown coverages. You know, some of them were just really good plays. We tried to get cute and they got caught us in a bad defense. I just don't want them to be okay with putting these same guys out here that are making the same damn mistakes over and over again. Like, that's frustrating to me. Make a statement to the rest of the team. Like, this is part of the culture change. Like, right now is the most important time for Ron Rivera because the players are watching. Make a statement. This is not what we stand for. You can't do it the way we ask you to do. Like, how can you go to the film room on Monday every week and see the same shit happening? Ron said this 2 weeks ago after we lost against Buffalo. 3 weeks now against Buffalo. And he said, you know what I'm going to fear? I fear that when I go back to the tape, I'm going to see the same mistakes being made. You're damn right, Ron. Do something about it. It's the same shit, Ron. Same shit every week. Do something about it. Do something. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Do something about it. Zach LaRoche, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Zach LaRoche, writes, this defense is a smoldering pile of airplane wreckage. That's all I got. You're not wrong. Although, I will say, the defense gave us a chance today. It doesn't feel like it. You look up, the Saints have 33 points. They gave up a Hail Mary before half. They gave up a 69-yard touchdown bomb. It doesn't look like it. Again, I get it. But the score literally was 13-13 before the Hail Mary, with the offense having every opportunity to have about 28 points on the scoreboard, courtesy of the defense, you know, really helping them out and giving them an opportunity. They failed to take advantage. Yep, they gave up the Hail Mary. That sucked. But then how long was the score 20-13 for? Like, they gave the offense opportunities. They didn't do anything. Like, at some point, you knew the dam was going to break. I knew it. I was watching. I kept telling the mob, I said, if the defense keeps giving us a chance, we're going to win this game. And they kept giving us a chance, so I thought we were going to win the game. But at some point, the dam is going to break. And for me, when it finally broke was when we got the field goal. That needed to be a tie ball game at 20 apiece. When we kicked that field goal to make it 20-16, I said, yeah, this ain't our day right here. Because I said the defense, they're not going to keep getting stops. You're not going to keep getting stops. And they damn sure didn't. So I wasn't surprised when right after we get the field goal, defense immediately gives up a touchdown. Not surprised. Not shocked. Not even disappointed. Because when you expect something, it's hard for you to be disappointed. It doesn't stop you from being disappointed. But if you know, then you know. If you're one of those people that you waited for your dad by the window to pick you up and he said he was coming, and this is the 15th time he said he was coming, but he didn't, it doesn't stop you from being disappointed. But in your back of your mind, you say, I know his ass. His lame ass ain't coming. He never comes. Pause. He never shows up. Let's go with that one. Well, this defense never gets those stops. Call them shutdown drives. They don't get those this year. So I wasn't looking for it. Offense had their chances. They blew it in this game. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My man, Fat American writes, a few things. O-line injuries were noticeable. Scott Turner play calling very inconsistent, especially in the red zone. Lastly, Collins. O-line injuries noticeable. Again, I didn't really feel that. The Saints are just good up front. I told you they don't give up a ton of yards rushing. They didn't in this game. We were going to have to beat them through the air. I agree with you on the play calling in the red zone. Very inconsistent. There were times where I felt like, hey, let's run it. You know, we got down here running the football. Let's run it. And then we just decide hey, too close to run it now. Let's throw it. Not exactly. Let's keep running it. You know, get creative. You know, do something else. But I struggle with Scott Turner. I think Scott Turner right now struggles with red zone passing plays. I don't think his offense is imaginative enough when we get down in the red zone. I don't think he does a good job of scheming guys open. Because when you got Logan Thomas, you got a dog that you can just throw it up to. You lose him. How many times did we try to force it to Ricky Seals-Jones in the red zone? And maybe that's a Taylor Heinicke thing. But to me, you find out how good of a play caller you have when you get in the red zone, because that's when shit gets tight. It gets a lot harder to score. You gotta craft up a play. Handcraft that shit. But I like my beverages handcrafted in small batches. Now, don't give me that big gallon shit. Okay? Give me my shit handcrafted in small batches. I want people stepping on apples, and I want them to cold press me a nice little glass of apple juice. Really put the elbow grease in squeezing an orange. I want me freshly squeezed OJ. That's what you got to do in the red zone. Shit's got to be your best. Don't give me that Sunny Delight bullshit. Don't give me Tampico in the red zone. I need the best of the best of the best you got. I want pulp and all. Nah. I got some imitation shit down in the red zone. That's when you're supposed to give me your best. That's when we get some of his worst. That's frustrating. Now, again, I want to watch the film. I'd love to have it NFL. It'd be great. Because I want to see if guys truly aren't getting open. But I put that on the coordinator. Scheme some shit open. Run some rubs and some picks. Get somebody open. That's your job as a coordinator. Shit ain't good enough. Rob U, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Rob U writes, our DBs can learn from Lattimore, turn and locate. They don't have his talent. Takes a different type of dog to do what he did today. That's why you spend a top 5 pick, or top 15. He should have been top 10. I think they got him as on a bargain. I think they got him at like 11. It's one of those drafts where a bunch of quarterbacks went, and you say, man, somebody's going to get themselves a dog that they got no business getting. And it was the Saints. They got lucky that year. He had no business falling out of the top 10. He was that kind of talent. They got their hands on him. But we don't have that. We don't have one of those dogs on our team. And it takes a it ain't a lot of them in the league, though. Let's keep it a buck. Ain't a lot of those types of dudes. He's one of the best in the league for a reason, and you saw it today. Stay humble. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Stay humble. Tony P56. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Tony P56 writes, Landon Collins stinks. Get him off the field, please. I mean, you preaching to the choir. We already singing the hook of Landon Collins stinks. I've already spit my 16 bars. Y'all are continuing to handcraft your 16 bars. Again, are they listening to the song that we're providing for them? The tape doesn't lie, but it's not on us. That American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, also, guess what time it is, Lou? You know and I know. Yeah, I know where this is going. Do I even need to say it? All right, I'll say it. 2005 playlist, ready to go, baby. I swear you would have thought we won the Super Bowl that year, Fat American. How about you go back to 91? Go do that. When we actually did something worth a damn. Anyway, I digress. Dewan Porch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I wasn't praising TH. The was me questioning the legend and you feeling as you stated. I knew you weren't. And I said that. I was being facetious when I did that. I was being funny. You didn't get that, but no, I knew you were questioning the legend of Taylor Heinicke. You were saying, what about it? Where is it at? No, I thought I displayed the fact that I was joking, but I guess I didn't do a good enough job of conveying that to you. Yes, I knew what you were doing. You were asking me, and I thought that I conveyed the message that he wasn't good enough today, and he's a backup quarterback in this league. But now you know that's how I felt, and now you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I knew you were questioning that. So we're on the same page now. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I can't blame Taylor too much. Really? I need to hear the rest of this comment. He was without half his pass catching corpse, and the Saints were playing tight man. He needs to make better throws, though. So while I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he was without a lot of guys, sorry, nope, can't do it. Here's why. Guys were open. He missed. How many times was Terry open on crossing routes? And if the ball is put out in front of Terry, there's no way Marshawn Lattimore can make a play on it. DeAndre Carter, wide open in the red zone on the first possession. That doesn't have anything to do with half of his receiving core out in this game. Adam Humphries, wide open on an out cut. Would have been a first down and probably like a 15-yard completion. Oversails him and shoots him by about 6 yards. That got anything to do with the receiving core being out? Let's see. There's the almost interception he threw when Terry was open on the deep double move towards the sidelines. That doesn't have anything to do with half of the receiving core being out. Let's see. Underthrowing Curtis Samuel on a 1st and 10, mind you, for an interception in the red zone where we're going to get points if you do nothing else. That had something to do with not having the rest of your receiving core. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple of throws that he should have made that he didn't make that had nothing to do with De'Ami Brown and Cam Sims, a guy who usually doesn't play that much anyway, being out of this game. Logan Thomas's absence is definitely being felt, but we weren't complaining about that last week when Taylor Heinicke went 23 of 33 for 290 and 3 touchdown passes. Now, where are we? So I'm not here to make excuses. In this league, guys are going to get hurt. When the guys step up and give you opportunities to make plays, you have to make them, and he did not. Period. End of discussion. And that's the difference between a starter and a backup, is that starters make those throws. Backups are inconsistent. They'll make them sometimes. They won't make them sometimes. That's what we have. It's a backup. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick is, a backup. That's what Taylor Heinicke is, a backup. That's what Kyle Allen is, a backup. We got 3 backup quarterbacks, which is what we thought we had. We didn't know about Heinicke. I didn't know, and I wanted to see, and I'm glad we got to see, because I hate asking what if. I hate that. I hate that. I'd rather know, and now I know. So now I don't have to look over my shoulder and wonder, what if Taylor Heinicke gets a chance? We already know. What if he gets a chance? He may do something good. He may not. But that's what backups are. They may come in and ball. They may not. That's what backups do. Thank you for the super chat, Red Wings 01. Get caught up. Get caught up. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? I watch other defenses play like their hair is on fire with less talent. Dak, Pat, A-Rod going to feast on these busted coverages. JDR seats getting warmer. When you underperform this badly with the talent that we have, which I put it in air quotes because I think we overrated how talented we were going into the season, although I still think we're a really talented defense. I think we overrated how talented we were. I really do. That said, we still got talent on this team. And as you just pointed out, there are teams with much less talent going out and playing much better defense. You trying to tell me the Eagles are way more talented than us on defense? You trying to tell me the Giants are way more talented than us on defense? No, I think they're way smarter than us on defense. Now, is that a byproduct of coaching? Maybe it is. But it also, don't absolve these players from wrongdoing. They're not doing the little things, the small granular details correctly. I do think some of this blame falls in the lap of JDR. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not absolving him of wrongdoing. He can be better, but the players have to be. It starts with them. They got to be better. There's enough talent that this shit shouldn't be happening on a weekly basis, but it does. So I think there's enough blame to go around for everybody. Everybody can get their hand in on some of this blame. Chris Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Chris Lee writes, wow, we made Jameis look like Drew Brees. I'm sorry, but the entire secondary looks lost. How can people be that wide open, Lou? This keeps happening. I'm with you. I wish I had an answer for you. I mean, how many touchdown passes Jameis had today? 5? 4? I mean, shit's incredulous, bro. It really is. Like I said, I could deal with what we got in the Chargers game. I can deal with that. I can stomach that. It's hard, especially when you keep giving it up on third downs. But when a guy just makes passes and you go, man, look, that was great coverage. He just made a throw. What do? You just tip your cap. They got us. They out-executed us. But when you keep giving up these big damn touchdowns over the top and it's simple stuff, it's not like they had this crazy concept when they got 4 verts and they got this nasty, route combination where they really put pressure on that safety to make a decision, and really damned if you do, damned if you don't. Whatever decision you make, I'm going to make sure you're wrong. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. They're running basic shit and we aren't covering it because we can't do basic shit on our end. That was a simple deep post from the slot. And we didn't cover it. Or excuse me, that was a simple deep post from the Z position out wide as William Jackson turned him loose. How hard is that? It wasn't even another guy deep. What are we doing? I don't know. Stop asking. The BHHD Washington Report. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Love seeing Chase make some plays. He seems so happy and relieved. Hopes he builds on it and continues to shut up his haters. Love your work, Lou. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate you and your support. you could tell he was relieved. Definitely get tired of hearing about the same shit over and over again. I thought he played well today. Had some pressures on the quarterback. You like to see him get busy a little bit more, but at the end of the day, they're going to come. I've been saying that since week 1, and I said they're going to come. And when they do, you guys are going to be like, yeah, he's legit. It just took too damn long. But whatever the case may be, he's a hell of a football player. He's a great talent, and he'll be fine. I'm not worried. He's the least of my worries on this football team defensively. There's so many other positions that we could nitpick and talk about. The line is not what I was overly concerned about. And I actually thought they played well today, the D-line, as a group. Jason Rogers, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Jason Rogers writes, drunk Uncle Jay here. And just disappointing. Always good to hear from drunk Uncle Jay. I probably need to have a couple with you, drunk Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay, I could use a couple cold beverages, man. It's going to be a long season. A long, long season. I wasn't prepared to say that today. Not today. Maybe after the Buccaneers beat us 42-17 after the bye week. Maybe then. Not now. Doesn't have to be over. But it feels like it's going to be over. Got to win one of these games before the bye to have a puncher's chance. You really need to win 2 out of 3. These next 2 out. You need to win 2 out of the next 3. Not likely. Not likely at all. Anyway, I digress. Rob U, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Rob U writes, on a side note, the O-line has been very solid. They've been the best unit all year long, and even with the injuries. Now with Sam Cosmi going down, hopefully that is not a serious ankle injury, but I surmise he'll be out for at least a week or 2. Even without Cosmi in there, I still thought the offensive line did good enough and gave Taylor enough time to survey the field and find receivers. Whether they were open or not is another story, but I thought that the offensive line once again gave him a chance. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Metaphor writes, Lou, is it safe to assume Fitz is back when healthy? Maybe. No, it's not safe to assume that at this point. I mean, honestly, is he that much better than Taylor Heinicke? I don't know. Here's the thing. By the time he gets back, it may not matter. But if we're going to keep doing this roller coaster of 1 win, 1 loss, yeah, he'll be back in the saddle. And if we're going in the direction that I think we're going to go, yeah, when he's healthy, I think he is the guy that they turn the reins back over to. Because in their mind, they're hoping, okay, we see where this Heinicke thing is going. What if Ryan Fitzpatrick comes back, catches fire, and leads us to 5-1 mark? We got a shot going down the stretch in those final 5 weeks. And that's what they're hoping, is that he catches fire and gives us a shot. So I'd say yes if this continues. But we still got 3 weeks. If he turns around next week and outdoes Patrick Mahomes and then goes to Lambeau and outdoes Aaron Rodgers, then no, obviously not, right? But the likelihood of that happening is slim and none. So as of right now, I think it'd be safe to say that that's a real discussion that they're having, is if Ryan is ready, we probably should just go back to him. But it's still 3 weeks before I think they have to cross that bridge. But I do feel like it's trending towards them going back to Ryan when he's healthy. So we'll see. Ishmael Benitez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy IB writes, thought we'd see more JD since our options at receiver were thin. Carter looked good on those jet sweeps. Carter just looked good in general. And I've been complaining and crying about not giving it to the receivers on these jet sweeps. They finally gave it to him, on one, and then they tossed it to him coming across the formation on another one, on a little pop pass, a little, touch pass or whatever. So they got him involved. I thought they did a really good job of getting DeAndre Carter involved in the offense. I sound like a broken record. I've said this many a times. It's not a coincidence that when J.D. McKissick has a big role, we win. When he does not, when he's a non-factor and invisible, we lose. In the 3 losses we've had this year, J.D. McKissick has been a non-factor. In the 3 wins we've had, J.D. McKissick has made some of the biggest plays of those games. It's not coincidental, I don't think. And they tried to get it to JD on an option route, a Texas route over the middle of the football field. It was a great play call. It was just poorly executed by Taylor, by JD. You could argue that the defender got away with a hold, but that's nor here. Pick your damn feet up, JD. Why are you always falling down? Pick your damn feet up. And then Taylor made a terrible throw. Like, give him a chance. So, yeah. Okay, F. Altus. Gotcha. Only got to tell me once. F. Altus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. F. Altus, who writes, all we needed was a man corner from last season, and we blew up the whole secondary. Bobby, Landon, William Jackson III, Fuller to the slot, and rookie cornerback with 0 chemistry. Who thought this was a good idea? We did. All of us did. We weren't complaining about this 3 months ago when they did it, were we? We were all ecstatic. Every move they made in the secondary, I was excited about, sans for Bobby McCain. That was the only one I was like, why are y'all so damn excited? He's Bobby McCain. He doesn't move the needle at all. But other than that, I was thrilled with getting William Jackson III. You know, I wanted to keep what's his name from last year? Ronald Darby. I wanted to keep Darby, but I also knew Ronald Darby's injury history. And I said, we might have just caught that man. That was the first time in his career he had played all 16 games. I was like, what's the chances of him doing that again? And I think they felt the same way. And look, he's been hurt. He's only played in 1 game this year. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. That's who he's been in his career. So I didn't mind them going out and what we thought was upgrading the position with William Jackson III. He seems to be playing with a lack of confidence right now. So it's easy to go out there and ball when you're in Cincinnati and they don't have shit and there are no expectations. Now you're playing on a team where there are some expectations, and we did win the division even though it was at 7-9. And you're coming into a defense that's supposed to be great, and you're supposed to be helping elevate the defense, and instead you're hurting the defense. We were all excited, though. We all thought this was a great idea when they did it. We talked about the depth at safety. I told you the cornerback depth was a little bit, questionable. I wasn't blown away by the depth, but I was like, hey, William Jackson III, Fuller to the slot. If Juice is what they think he is, which he's been really good for us, hey, this might actually be really good. We were wrong. They were wrong. We were wrong. It's been a disaster. So, John Hanson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, when does Del Rio get held accountable? By who is the question? By Ron or by us? I think he's being flamed by the fan base. I contend that it's not just Del Rio. If you're asking when is Ron going to hold him accountable, I don't know if it's going to happen. And frankly, I wouldn't want Ron to hold him accountable publicly. What good does that do? Maybe Ron is holding him accountable, privately, but publicly they need to be a unified front. And that's what they need to present to everyone. Is like, it's not the coaching staff's fault. It's not the players' fault individually. Everyone's got some blame in this. And that's really the truth. As Ron would say, really, that's the truth of the matter. So all of them have a share in the blame. None of them have been good. The coaching staff, the players, none of them have been good on defense. The BHHD Washington report. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, thoughts on Jamin? I thought he was solid. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I didn't focus on Jamin in particular. That's why I love film, because then I can specifically look at guys individually. when I'm watching a game, I'm watching different aspects. Mostly I'm watching the D-line to see if they're getting pressure, to see what's being done to them. And I'm not going to lie to you, every time Jameis dropped back, I thought we had a chance to sack him and do, force him into something, stupid, which was exciting. But every time he threw it down the field, and, I've always told you that you can't see what's going on the back end on the TV copy because they tighten the shot on pretty much both offensive line and defensive lines and the quarterback. So they tighten the shot and you can't see down the field. And every time he chucked that bitch, I was like, oh, shit, here we go. What's on the other side of this, man? All right, let me see the other shot. What do you got? Every time I was nervous. And I've been that way this season. And it wasn't like that last year. Even though we were giving shit up last year, it wasn't like that last year. So I didn't see Jamin in particular. That's something I'd have to go back and assess, watching the film. Zacchaeus Maggette III, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Zacchaeus Maggette III, who writes, I'm just tired, man. I'm 45 years old, and I would like to see success again before I leave this earth. You are not alone, Zacchaeus. You're not alone, bro. You are not alone. We are here with you. We all want to see it, bro. That's why we care so much. That's why you care so much. I get it. I understand. Doesn't make any of this less easy to tolerate. Doesn't make any of this any more palatable. It's tough to watch this team year after year. But what I've come to grips with is that this is a process. What I'm disappointed with is the fact that where we're supposed to be in the process, we're not at. And Ron has said that himself. The part that is disappointing isn't the fact that we're 2-3. I knew we were going to struggle this year. Thought we should have beat the Chargers, though. Thought we could have won this game, though. But that's not the part that's frustrating to me. The part that's frustrating to me is the simple fact that we're not at the point of Ron's plan that I feel that we should be at. And the reason I feel that way is because we've regressed in the area that made Ron want to take the job in the first place. That gave us a chance to win the division last year, which was the defense. Ron took this job because he liked the defensive talent on this team. He liked Jonathan Allen. He liked Deron Payne. He liked Montez Sweat. And he loved the fact that he was inheriting the second pick in the draft, and he was going to use that on Chase Young. He already knew we had Cole Holcomb. He liked some of the defensive pieces that we had, and knowing he was going to add Chase Young to the mix was going to make this defense even that much tougher to deal with. He liked those pieces. They added Kendall Fuller. They added Jamin Davis. They added Benjamin St. Juste. They had Landon Collins already. They added Cameron Curl. He felt like, man, we got this shit going in the right direction. And then after last year, seeing the defense do what it did and dominate at times and take over ball games, you're figuring, hey, they're doing what they're supposed to do. We didn't tear up in any dominant offenses and tear them to shreds, which is what elite defenses do. But what defenses that are heading in the right direction do is they take garbage offenses and tear them a new asshole, and we did that last year. We're not doing that this year. Not to say that we've run into any garbage offenses, but when I look at what the Falcons were doing to other teams compared to us, I'd say we should have been able to do what everybody else is doing, but we're not capable of doing that. The Saints aren't a high-octane offense. I told you, they shouldn't be scoring 30 any damn thing. But that's what we've done to everybody is we've turned every offense out there into a 30-point offense. You too can score 30 if you haven't scored it already. You too can get 30 this week. All you got to do is show up. We got a nice 60-some-odd yard touchdown waiting for you. Got a couple of opportunities on some blown coverages on third down to give you some drives to extend. Got an easy touchdown in the red zone if you want. We got all of the things that anyone that wants to score 30 could ask for. We got a whole platter. You just pick and choose what you want to do and how you want to get to 30. You want a deep ball? There it is right there. Right there on the platter. Go ahead and pick that. That is just what we needed. because we were struggling on offense. We were only scoring 16 points a game. We needed that deep ball. Man, that tastes delicious. I bet it does. I bet it does. It's frustrating. I get it, Zacchaeus. We all want to win, man. It's frustrating as hell. But thinking that we're going to be 2-15, 1-15, or 1-16, or 2-15 after the second game of the season, that isn't going to help anything. And it's not realistic. What you've got to understand is this isn't the worst team that you've seen in Washington in the last 3 years. That distinction goes to 2019. Now, if you would have said that during that season, I would have agreed with you. We were awful. That was the worst Washington team these eyes. And I grew up in the 90s when we were terrible almost every year. We had Heath Schuler at quarterback. We had a bunch of journeyman quarterbacks in the 90s. 19 was the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. This team isn't even, and that's what I tried to tell you guys last year. That team last year wasn't even close, and you guys are ready to give up. This team is not close to 19. We're not going to win 1 or 2 games, so stop saying that. That's what I'm trying to get at. I know you're frustrated. There are different ways to express your frustration than to just say, hey, we're going to go 2-15. We're not Jacksonville from last year. We're not going to lose the remaining schedule. We play in the NFC East first and foremost. It's not a good division. That's number one. Number two, this is not a bad football team. They're undisciplined. You could argue if they're well coached or not, but they're not going to lose 15 games this season. And oh, by the way, Ron Rivera, you say what you want about him. He's had worse teams than this before. He also had Cam Newton at quarterback. That helps a hell of a lot. But he's never gone, 3-13 in the season. He's usually 7-9. Worst case scenario, 6-10, something like that. Anyway, I digress. I get it. You're frustrated. You're upset. We all are. This is not what any of us wanted to see. But I came into this season knowing that it was going to be tough sledding. And I told you guys from the outset, our quarterback position is going to leave a lot to be desired, and it's going to cost us games. Now, what we couldn't have accounted for, and this is the part that has me the most frustrated, is that we thought at least we were going to have the defense to, again, hang our hat on. Take the hat, put it on the hook. That defensive hook was supposed to be there for us. It's not there. That's what makes this season frustrating. More so than it already is. So I want to see a winner too before I leave this earth as well. Hell, I want to have this team win before my dad leaves this earth, and he's a Cowboys fan. I want to be able to go to him and say, we did it before y'all did it. I don't know. We all want it, man. I get it. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Fat American, writes. Also, I'm not sure if it's JDR, maybe DB coach. I don't know. Again, it'd be one thing if we were trying to do too much. I remember when we had Joe Barry, and a lot of the players were complaining that we were trying to do too much on defense. And we were trying to be too exotic, and it's just too many calls, and we just needed to simplify shit. That's when you can blame the coordinator. And you're doing too much, and you don't even have a little shit right. We're not doing that, though, with Jack. We calling simple shit, and the players are blowing it. Like, that's why I can't just sit here and allow the Jack Del Rio parade of, blaming him to go on unchecked. I got to step in because, bro, we playing cover 3, man. If we can't play cover 3, we're not going to beat nobody. I could take 10 with myself. I could take 10 6th graders in my backyard, teach them how to play cover 3, and feel confident that they're going to play cover 3. Yet we got grown-ass men that have been doing this their entire lives, not having the discipline to do what is being called. Now, this wasn't a flat-out Landon's eyes were in the wrong place. He was just too damn far up, close to the line of scrimmage, and didn't bust his ass hard enough to get back. He was in trot mode, like, I'm expecting a dig here any minute. He's going to snap this thing off any second now, and I'll be in great position. No, bro. He's going to the post on your ass. Get there. Don't meet him there. Beat him there. He was late there. Way late. Contraband Truth. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Contraband Truth writes, so disappointed, but just based on observation, it's obvious it's a disconnect between everyone. That starts at the top. Can't say that I disagree with you. I don't think you're wrong. There is constant communication issues, like the touchdown to put this game essentially on ice to Marquez Callaway. I don't know if William Jackson III thought that they were going to switch. Obviously, everybody else is playing man-to-man. Why are you going over the top, bruh? Just a thought. Just wanted to know. Why did you think it was a good idea to go 10 yards around two different sets of receivers and DBs to get to your guy when you were already in press coverage? Why didn't you just put hands on him, ride his ass outside, be right underneath that thing with him, and run with him? Why? Did you think it was a good idea to go over the top? It's 3rd and 7, bruh. Why? That's the shit that just blows my mind. Is it here? Knock, knock, knock. Is it empty? Like, I know y'all guys know ball, so why are y'all acting like y'all don't know ball? It's 3rd and 7. Where are you going? Even if he doesn't go to the end zone, he's still going to get the first. Where are you going? I don't understand. And that's why I said it's not just one guy. Take a pick. It's always somebody. Now, these safeties have been problematic, but it's not just them. It's not just them. And that's the shit that's frustrated. Is that I would love to just throw a blanket. Oh, it's John Bostic, it's Kendall Fuller, and it's Landon Collins. Get their asses out of there. Let's get some new guys in here. Let's play ball. It's not just them, though. It's not just them. The great Watubi. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. The great Watubi writes. Well, first of all, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Really do appreciate you. Who writes 3 punts inside the 3, and the Hail Mary did us in. It wasn't just that, but those 3 punts were legendary. And I put the blame on DeAndre Carter. Like, after the first one, okay, he got me. You know, ball was, you know, the old way of thinking. Oh, you sit your heels on the 10, and if it goes over your head, you let it go. Okay. I try that one on for size the first time. Fine. You got it. The second time? Oh, no. You got me last time. I'm going to catch this bitch. And the part that frustrated me the first time was that he punted the shit out of that ball, and there was space and opportunity. I don't give a shit if you caught it at the 4. He would have had about 10 yards before there was a Saints defender even in the picture. Catch the shit. Run it. He thought he was going to be able to make some plays by letting it go and, oh, we're going to get it at 20. Didn't happen. That's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. And then he let it happen again and again. 3 times. He let that ball die inside the 5. At what point do you say, let me go catch this thing? Even if it's at the 6, let me catch this thing. It never occurred to him. I should go catch it. What a novel concept. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. You shouldn't get fooled 3 times, and he did. Carlton Bogano Jackson, my guy, CPJ. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a valued member of the MOBB. My guy, CPJ, writes, can't blame individuals. It's the whole team playing bad. Coaches making mistakes too. We expected better from this team, and we will get it eventually or not. But I'll still be here rooting while pissed at the same time. That is the sentiment of probably 90% of the fan base. There's about 10% of this fan base that isn't going to stick around for the foolishness that they've deemed to be foolishness. It's so part of the process. It's look, it's never fun when you got to go through this process. Any of you who thought that this wasn't a rebuild when Ron showed up, you were fooling yourself. It's a rebuild. Call it what it is. It's a rebuild. We were never good enough to retool. So when Ron got here and he started getting rid of dudes that we thought were players for us or had been here for a while, like this past year, Morgan Moses and Ryan Kerrigan, you're rebuilding this roster. That's what you do. It's a rebuild. And in a rebuild, it takes time. You're going to be frustrated during that rebuild. I told you, I've been a fan of teams that started out young and had to grow. And it's frustrating as hell sometimes when you see some of the mistakes being made. But you chalk it up to just having a young team. But you also say there's some promise here. And if we can continue to build off of this, we're going to be a damn good team. And that's why it's so frustrating this year, because you thought that portion of the team was the defense. Hey, we build on this defensive thing that we've got, and maybe we'll have a chance. Why the hell do you think so many people were high on Washington this year? It wasn't because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. That was a part of it. People were getting excited. But you know why they were getting excited about Ryan Fitzpatrick? Because they thought he was going to benefit from a dominant defense. That's why. Not because, Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to come in here and he's going to turn things around for Washington. Man, that Fitzpatrick is something else, I tell you. No. They thought that the defense was going to be dominant, and if we get anything more from the quarterback, we were the absolute worst team in the league at the quarterback position last year. So if you just get Ryan Fitzpatrick to do Ryan Fitzpatrick things at 19th in the league or so, yeah, with that defense, shit, you're going to win some games. Well, about that defense. Yeah, about that defense. It is a whole team F up right now. Nobody's innocent. But it's still frustrating as hell to watch. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you who writes. DBs have been miscommunicating all season. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Tony P56, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Greatly appreciate you who writes. Hashtag scapegoat rant. Hashtag everybody's effing up rant. You got to have both of them, because everybody wants to find a scapegoat. It's got to be, this is the problem right here. You know, when you do that, when you think you're supposed to be better than what you are, and you think you're too talented to be in the position that you're in, it's got to be somebody's fault. It can't just be everybody stinks. It's got to be John Bostic's fault. That's whose fault it is. Yeah, get Bostic the hell out of here. No. It's got to be Landon Collins' fault. He stinks. He's always giving some shit. It's got to get him out of here. Okay. I guarantee you, John Bostic didn't play this week. And you could argue front seven was a lot better. I don't know if there's a direct correlation or not. Anyway, Landon Collins, he's problematic. If they get him out there, will the defense get better? I don't know. All I can tell you is that it's not the same guy over and over and over again. And we got to hold these players accountable. We got to hold the staff accountable, which means we got to hold the whole damn team accountable, because it ain't just Dustin Hopkins missing field goals. It's killing momentum and costing us games, and we losing by 2. And if he would have made his field goal, we win. Nope. That ain't what happened. So you can't just put the blame on Dustin Hopkins. It's a lot of blame to go around. It's enough to share to every damn body equally. D-line can get more pressure. Linebackers can cover better, fill gaps better. How about the Kamara run? What What the hell was Jamin Davis doing on that play? Hey, I'm over here in my gap. Well, Jamin, it'd be nice if you got over to the next gap because that's where the action's at. I get it. If he cuts it back, you should have been in your gap, but be a football player. There's no action in your gap. Don't just stand there strifing. I'm in my gap. I'm in my gap. I'm in my gap. Here I am. And then get washed. You and your crew, you and your whole crew get washed by a double teaming guard getting to the second level. And now Alvin Kamara off to the races. Let's be a football player. Go make a play. It's everybody, you know? And like I said, they take turns. It's everybody. So, yeah. Frustrating. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, we missed Curtis and Logan today. Badly, real bad. We did. And this was one of those games where Terry needed help. These are the exact type of games I was referring to when I said, hey, Terry's a true number one. And sometimes your number one gets shut down by the other team's number one. And that's what happened today. Even though I think Terry could have had more opportunities had Taylor put some better balls out there for him to go and get. And really made Terry look bad, the fact that, he only had probably 3 or 4 catches for like 36 yards. It really made him look bad because Taylor ain't put the ball out there for him to go get. Behind him, he's got to constantly go up for it. He didn't give him a chance. But that said, he shouldn't have been going at Lattimore as much as he did because he should have had that number 2 kicking that rookie Paulson Adebo's ass. But when you don't have that number 2, what are you supposed to do? That's when you force it to Terry. The Talk Heavy Podcast. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, coach football for 14 years. The players are not responding to the coaching. The Saints tried to give us the game. JDR play calling is terrible. That they did. They tried to give us the game in the first half. They didn't try to give it to us in the second half. They tried to give us a cushion in the first half, and we didn't want it. No, you guys are too kind. No, the interception was enough. You didn't have to give us the fumble. No, guys, come on. We really appreciate you guys. And the Saints are like, no, we really love your hospitality. You've shown us a great time in DC since we've been here. This is great. No. Take this, roughing the kicker, man. On us. We really do appreciate you guys. And we're like, you really mean it? Okay, we'll take the roughing the kicker. But the interception and the fumble, no, we're just going to take field goals on those. No, we can't. We cannot accept your touchdown. Sorry. Can't have it. But the roughing the kicker, okay, you twisted our arm. We'll take it. Okay. That shit isn't good enough. They wanted us to be ahead at halftime. And we were like, nah, you guys are too nice. You guys are a hoot. You're a riot. No. Matter of fact, for all of the gifts you've given us in the first half, here's our token of appreciation. Here's a Hail Mary at halftime. Enjoy. We stink. Thank you for the super chat, Condoleezza Perry. Greatly appreciate you, Condo P. Thank you for being a valued member, not just of the MOBB, but of the Louie Tee Network. You wear so many hats here for this channel. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, the injuries on offense piling up at the worst possible time. Time for the young wide receivers to step up. Yes, Condo P. Couldn't have come. Not that injuries could ever come at the right time, but they most certainly are coming at the wrong time. Like, this is when we need these guys the most because we need to score. We needed to score today. We need to score next week. We need to score against Green Bay in 2 weeks. And they won't be there. So, yes, these injuries couldn't have come at a worse time, even though there's no right time for injuries, obviously. But we felt those injuries today for sure, especially when you're playing against a legitimate number 1 corner and Marshawn Lattimore that is either going to erase or cancel out Terry. At minimum, Terry's impact was going to be minimal, and it was. You needed somebody else to step up, and that guy simply wasn't there. But Heinicke didn't make it any better because he missed opportunities. He missed throws. Consistently, today, and he made bad decisions. So I like Dax Milne with the catch. You know, it's always good to see the young fellas get in there and get an opportunity and take advantage of it. DeAndre Carter, love the fact that he took advantage of his reps, you know, but only so much you can do, right? Thank you for the super chat, Condoleezza Perry. Let's see if we got any more supers, and we do. Frank Brown. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Frank writes, what up, Louie? What up, Frankie B? Says, what are the chances of winning these 2 games coming up? 0. Now, okay, both of them or one of them? If you're saying what are the chances that we win both of them, is 0. If you ask me, can we win one or the other? Sure. I put it at like 7%. Why not? He says, it's very possible if they cut the mistakes out on both sides of the ball. Sure, but what gives you any indication that that is going to happen next week or the week thereafter? It'd be one thing if they showed signs of improvement. And I'm not just talking about in one game, because they've done that this year for one game. But again, you could cut out all the mistakes in one game and still get outscored by the Chiefs next week. We've cut out the mistakes for the most part in the Giants game. Did have the interception late, and all the mistakes last week against the Falcons. And we still only won by 4 points against the Falcons last week. And that was without all of the mistakes. So what makes you think we're going to score enough and hold the Chiefs down enough, or the Green Bay Packers the following week on the road at Lambeau, to stop them from scoring 38 or 39 or 42 or 45, and we're going to be able to outscore them, even without the mistakes? The way this defense looks, they don't have to make mistakes. They can get they've shown us that they're fine with allowing teams to convert third downs at a high clip. It doesn't have to be the 69-yard quick strike, but more likely than not, you're going to get one of those throughout the course of the game. But it doesn't have to be that. They've shown they're cool with giving you a 13-play, 72-yard drive and letting you cap it off with a touchdown. They've shown that. You can go 4-4 on third downs on that possession. No problem. Knock yourself out. So what are the chances of winning both of those games? 0. What are the chances of individually winning one of those games? Sure, you can do that. I put it at 7%. Thank you for the super chat, Frank Brown. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, is no one going to talk about the refs? What about the refs in this game? I didn't have any issues with the referees in this game. What'd they do? Help me refresh my memory. Maybe I missed something. I thought the officials, this might have been the best officiated game we've been in all year long. I don't recall one time saying, man, these officials screwed us there. Again, I might have forgot something. Did I miss something? Help me out. The Burger the Buncher. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou, I'm a leader in real life. Won't go into detail, but I can't keep supporting this team when there is 0 accountability. Just folded arms. I think the most frustrating part after the defense's demise is the lack of what feels like accountability being, shown, or players being held to. Because I ranted earlier today, and I ranted 2 weeks ago, like, if you're not going to get these guys to do what it is you want them to do, and I'm all for giving guys opportunities to right or wrong. I'm not saying that the first sign of trouble, you got to bail. But if we keep having this, I always tell the young youth of America, in life, mistakes are going to happen. That's part of your growth and maturation, right? Now, as parents, a lot of times, you want better for your kids, and you don't want them making the same mistakes that you made. So you try to give them all of the game you got. But you know what? You've been there before when you were a youth. You don't want all of the game your parents got because you think I can figure out the game myself. So sometimes you make the same dumbass mistakes your parents made and they tried to help you avoid it, and only for you to realize, damn, that's what they were talking about. Oh, well, I got it now. But sometimes you're going to make mistakes. It's a natural part of life. What I don't want you to do, and this is what I tell the youth of America, I don't want you to continue to repeat those mistakes over and over again. That's how you learn in life. How do I know you actually learned your lesson if you keep doing it over again? Which is what I talked to you guys about with my son, where he says, Dad, I'm sorry. Okay, it's cool to be sorry, son, but don't do it again. Don't say sorry and then repeat the act that forced you to say sorry. That's counterproductive. And he's 3, and we're teaching him that lesson now. These guys are grown-ass men, and they keep doing the same things over and over and over and over again. At some point, you have to say, enough's enough. Let's get a different guy out there. Let's try something different. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Well, you know what's not working? Continuing to blow coverage every single week and having it be one of 2 guys. That's getting old fast. So, I don't know. I think there is accountability behind closed doors. Again, what you're supposed to do as a leader is not show weakness outwardly. We present a united front to the media, to the fans, to everyone else watching. We got it. We got it. We're all at fault here. We're all in this thing together. We've all made mistakes. That's how you present the message. Where I want to see, and they're doing that, and that's what you're supposed to do. Where I want to see the accountability piece be taken to, and where I want to see the action, because I told you, talk ain't nothing but exactly that, talk. You can flap your gums all day long. Who gives a shit about that? We care about the action on the field, because that's what matters in this league. Jack Del Rio says it every week. It's a performance-based, production-based league. So if you're not producing, if you're not giving us the production we need out of that position, let's see if we can find someone else that can. And right now, they're not willing to make that switch quite yet. And it's 5 games into the season. Maybe they feel like that's a little too early to bail. But at this point, obviously something isn't getting through. There is some kind of disconnect. And when that is the case, I have to then do something. Shake things up. So I hear you, Burger the Buncher. I hear you loud and clear. Joe Rockhead J, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Joe Rockhead J writes, Ron has to take safety more seriously in the draft. I feel like that's one of those positions that they have to, and like, I thought they just threw a random, hey, let's get a special teams guy at safety. Like, I'm not looking for that next year. You want to replace Troy Apke? That you drafted a dude that you think can do that in Derek Force. Can Derek Force actually play the safety position for us? No, he can't. He can't. So I feel like you do. One of our first 3 picks in the draft next year needs to be a safety. And not just any safety, a free safety. Not a box safety, a free safety. So I'm with you. Gotta really focus in. If quarterback's the first thing you're looking to get, which it should be, and no, because we're probably going to end up winning 6 or 7 games, we're probably going to have to trade up to get a quarterback that we truly desire, because this isn't one of those drafts where you can sit back and it's 5 dudes that we all feel good about. And like last year's draft, where you know, even if you weren't the biggest Mac Jones supporter, if we would have ended up with Mac Jones, you would have been like, hey, I would have found a way to spin that into a positive. I didn't want his ass. I could have found a way to spin that into a positive, though. But I'm going to tell you like this. With this draft, you ain't sitting at 14 and having Mac Jones fall into your lap. You're going to end up with some ass if you do that. So they're going to probably have to trade up. More likely than that, which means You don't get to draft that safety in the 3rd round. You don't have that 3rd round pick more likely than not. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You don't have that 2nd round pick. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Just something to consider. But the quarterback's the most important thing. So we'll see. I'm with you. We definitely need to upgrade safety. The Burger the Buncher. Thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. The Burger the Buncher, who writes, also Collins is a small linebacker at this point, which is what everybody pretty much said when everybody suggested that he make the transition to linebacker. You know, in this league where we're seeing linebackers get smaller and smaller, and safeties, you know, make that conversion over to linebacker, Landon should do it. He's better in the box anyway. He was against it. You can't make a guy, and a lot of you like, well, make him do it or sit him down or cut him. Well, that doesn't make your team any better if you do those things. Because if a guy's heart isn't in it, you can't make a guy do something he doesn't want to do. So I can tell you this. Could he help us more at linebacker? I think so. But I never harped on it in the offseason because I said it's not happening. So they could play him at the Buffalo nickel. That's sort of like a linebacker position, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. The Martin family. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. The Martin family writes, damn, Lou. You were never a fan of getting Curtis Samuel. Never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. On the free agent market, I'm starting to see why. Hashtag hail my July brother. Always hold it down. I don't know if you're a Leo now, but in July, I love July. So, I mean, we still family, more like a cousin if you're born in July. If you're a Leo, now you're immediate family. But I still like Curtis Samuel, and I don't have a problem with them doing what they did. They felt like that was the best move for them. They felt like they knew what they were getting in Curtis Samuel. And again, he didn't have a track record of getting injured when he got here. Go look at Curtis Samuel's games played before he got here. He was pretty durable. So that wasn't one. It's not like with Paul Richardson where you knew you were getting a banged up dude and you were hoping to just be able to get it for a discounted price. He was pretty much a guy that you could rely on to play 13, 14, 15, 16 games. Well, obviously, that's not going to be the case this year, but I didn't want him because I just wanted a traditional number 2. I wanted a Corey Davis type. That's what I wanted. A guy that, A, has stayed healthy in his career, which Samuel has done too, so I'm not saying anything, but B, I know this guy has real, legitimate number 2 written all over him because he was drafted to be a 1, and at times he was, but he's really not a 1. He's a high level 2. And that's why I wanted him. And I'm watching Corey Davis get open for the Jets this year, and I'm saying he could have been here in Washington. Man, what difference he would have been making for this offense. But that's not here nor there. I'm not here to have revisionist history of cry over spilt milk. We did what we did. We got who we got. I like him. I just need him to stay healthy. And obviously he's having trouble with that this year. So the Burger the Buncher. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I like Carter, but he has to fair catch them punts. Yeah, he thought he was making the right decision. It was frustrating to watch because, you know, after the first one was, okay, all right, you got me. Good ass kick, dude. Gilligan, all right, good kick, man. No longer will you have me on the island, though. That's the last time you're going to be able to have one of them shits trickle out at the 2 or the 3 or have that bitch die at the 4 and they down it at the 3. But he decided, man, that was a fluke. Do it again. So he did it again. Man, those first 2 goals were lucky. Do it again. So he did it again. At what point do you say, all right, man, this dude, he about that life. Let me go ahead and stop playing and fair catch that thing. He refused to do it. Connor Lineberger. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Connor writes, tell me it's going to be okay, Lou. All jokes aside, I'm a diehard fan, and this one hurts. It's hard to even be excited for a new QB with all these issues. A new QB would do wonders because A, you would be excited to see him grow. B, there are throws there to be made that Heinicke just isn't making. I mean, I went back and I watched that Atlanta game last week. You know how close he was to a couple of those throws not being touchdowns and big plays for us? Like, when he does get by, it's not by much. I love Taylor Heinicke. I've already said that. I want him here after this year, just not as the starter. That's it. It's not, the issues here are frustrating, but at the same time, this is a week-to-week, year-to-year type of league. So these same issues we're having now, they may not be the issues we have next year. You know, you just don't know. So it's frustrating as hell. This one definitely hurt because this one didn't have to be the way that it ultimately ended up being. Like, we didn't have to lose this game. Did you walk away from this game saying, man, the Saints, that's a good ball club right there that we just lost to? My goodness. Man, those Saints, boy, I tell you, they went marching in on our skins today. Did you feel that way after this game? Because I damn sure didn't. I felt like, man, they gave us every opportunity to bust their ass, and we didn't want to do it. That's a reflection on us less than it is a reflection on them. Thank you for the super chat, Connor Lineberger. Billy A, my guy, Billy A, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, I was beginning to draft a free safety last year because it's a weak, I guess, position. Well, they could have done that last year, but then you would have been complaining about not getting a linebacker because you can't have it both ways. I mean, who knew that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was going to be around in the second round when we picked? They could have taken a safety in the first round, but I think had the Raiders already taken your boy Trayvon Myrick already by the time we picked? I don't know. They might have taken him after that because they had like 2 or 3 first-round picks, did the Raiders. Again, I think they spent their first one on Alex Leatherwood, and then so I think the second one came after us. So Myrick was available. I'm not saying he would have solved all of our problems, but I digress. Jamie or Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Big Money Sonny. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Big Money Sonny. Writes, Jameis Winston clapped our cheeks today. This team is hot garbage. And it's funny that you say that. Jameis Winston was 15 of 30. The man was barely 50% completion percentage. Jameis Winston was ass today. Ass. Jason Files, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Jason Files, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Love the thumbnail, Jason. Who writes, what up, Luke? What up, Jason? Our best defensive performances and best field positions still an L. Should we change coordinators? Can we cut Collins if he won't play linebacker? They're not going to cut Collins if he doesn't play linebacker, so we can address that right now. Should we change coordinators? You're not going to do that in season. If they thought that this was a problem, that's something you address in the offseason. And yeah, this was one of our better performances defensively, and we still gave up a 30 spot, and we still, gave up big plays, and yeah, all of that, all of the above. That's frustrating. When you do your best that we've seen this year, and it's still only good enough to give up 33. That feels really depressing. It does. But the offense didn't help, Offense didn't help. That's frustrating. William Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, William Lee, writes, Terry shut down, Curtis broken, Taylor bad decisions, defense clueless, refs and Winston tried to help us but didn't want it. Accurate. I mean, Terry got clank today. But again, I thought it would have been a better, more evenly viewed matchup had Taylor put some of those balls out in front of Terry where they belong. Instead of Terry having 4 catches for 30, and I don't know what he had. I'm just assuming 4 catches for 39 yards. Terry would have had 7 for 78. But he didn't put the ball where it belonged. So Mr. DCB215, Mr. DCB215 writes, thank you for the super chat first and foremost. Not giving up on TH4. Bad game, yes, but outside of Terry, he's throwing the 3 guys, RSJ, Carter, and Hump, that no other teams wanted. Facts. But those guys were open. And that's the problem. Like, you know, I know my guy Red Wings brought that up. Like, oh, man, you know, I'm not going to kill Taylor too much because he's throwing the backup players. He's missing a big chunk of his targets. And while that's true, and Mr. DCB 215 saying the same thing, while that's true, and I don't disagree with that, guess what? DeAndre Carter was open today. Terry had a step on Marshawn Lattimore multiple times today. Adam Humphries was open, and he missed. So while I am disappointed at the injuries and him not having a full cupboard, the fact remains guys were open. And he missed. And he made poor decisions that have nothing to do with guys being out. Again, last week, when he went 23 of 33 for 290, were you saying the same things? Because the same guys that are gone this week were pretty much gone last week. Logan Thomas got hurt on the very first possession of the game last week. I don't even know when we lost De'Ami Brown or Cam Sims, but let's not make Cam Sims out to be some kind of big-time threat for this team, because that was last year's Cam Sims. We replaced him this year, and he was more of a core special teamer this year. Would we have loved to have had him? Because he would have probably been better than anything we put out there as a number 2 option today. Absolutely. But let's not act like Cam Sims only has 2 or 3 grabs on the season, because that's all he's got. Don't act like we're missing a guy that had 23 catches coming into the game and he's not there. Him or De'Ami. But Taylor still got it done last week with those guys out in some crucial situations. You weren't saying that last week. Now all of a sudden it's a big deal. No, he missed throws. Guys were open. He didn't play well. He made poor decisions. He turned the football over. He wasn't good today. And he was a huge part of why we lost this football game. A massive part of why we lost. I'd put him at number 1. If you want to be honest, I'd put Taylor Heinicke's performance at number 1 as to why we lost this game. Not the Hail Mary, not the blown coverage for the 60-whatever yard touchdown strike. Taylor Heinicke, because we could have overcome all of that if he plays better. And he didn't. Darnell Kelly, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. And thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, as a Washington football fan, you should expect to lose games where you win almost every stat, because the scoreboard, every stat you can, but the scoreboard, damn shame. That's the culture I want to change. Yeah. I just want to stop losing games, period. That's the culture I'm trying to change, is that when a team offers you a gift, you take it and you say thank you and you keep it pushing. Like, don't deny yourself the opportunity to be great. If a team wants to help in that regard, take the help. The Saints wanted us to be great today. They said, look, man, y'all been struggling this year at home. You're 1-1. Could have been 0-2. You haven't won with your burgundy jerseys on this year. Let me help you change that. You haven't gotten a stop on the opening possession of the game. Let me help you with that. You haven't scored on your opening possession. Let me help you with all of this shit. They did it in one fell swoop. They threw an interception, which stopped our consecutive games, giving up a touchdown on the opening drive streak, and they allowed us in the field goal range on one fell swoop. We were supposed to turn it into a touchdown. And we was like, nah, we'll take the field goal, though. But nah, we're good, man. You were too kind to give us the interception in the first place. That's the shit I'm trying to change. Somebody's trying to give you something. Take it. The Saints, I thought they were going to try to throw a quick breaking route and kick a field goal. They was like, nah, F it. We ready to go to halftime. We're going to just try this Hail Mary. What the hell? We got shit to lose. They were ready to go to halftime 13-13. That's what that said. I was more afraid that we were going to give up a 7-yard completion, let them get out of bounds, and they were going to attempt a 55-yard field goal that they were going to make. That's what I was afraid of. When he dropped back and he rolled out, almost got sacked, I said, oh, he about to throw this bitch up for him. Oh, shit, we're going to halftime tied. Let's go. Best case scenario. Then as I watch that football and I don't see a single member of our team jump, I'm like, wait a minute. Is anybody going to – Life of being a Washington football team fan. Life of being a Washington football team fan. Anyway, thank you for the super sticker, Washington football team. Thank you for the super chat and the super sticker. Greatly appreciate you, Washington football team. T-Roy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, if Taylor can be better if the coordinator knows how to teach him. This is his 5th start. Del Rio sucks. I need a hungry DC next year. Again, this isn't about teaching Taylor or, a better scheme that better suits him. This is a really good scheme for Taylor Heinicke's skill set. He's being put in positions to succeed. He isn't always taking advantage of it. So, again, we need to get a quarterback that no matter what the scheme is, he can rise above it, exceed expectations, and give us a chance. That's all we're looking for. It's not easy to find in this league, but I think I speak for myself. I can't speak for anybody else out there. I'm sick of having game managing quarterback. Like, we're either at one end of the spectrum or the other. He's either a game manager or he's a guy that can't elevate the rest of his team, needs the scheme and the system to fit him and has to have talent around him. Or we got the gunslinger now, guy that's willing to take some risks. These are dumbass risks, though, where you go, what were you thinking there? Why'd you do that? When you're a coach and you really don't know what's going on, you say, hey, so let me show you this play. What were you thinking about right here? That's what you do to the kids when y'all study all week for a spelling test, or you study all week for a social studies test, and then you get the paper back and they got a 72, and it's one of them questions you dealt with all week, and you say, okay, so what are you thinking about right here? We went over this 85 times this week. Okay. What were you thinking? The capital of Virginia is fill in the blank. What were you thinking about here? We went over this. How'd you come up with Pennsylvania? Here. How'd you get Roanoke? Here. We did this. Come on, man. It's Richmond. Come on. You know the answer. We did this already. Taylor, what were you thinking right there? You can't throw the football there. We did this already. You know better. You know better. You know better. Don't come off the field holding your head or, gosh darn it, I did it again. Stop doing it. Michael White, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Michael White writes, hey, Lou. What's up, Michael? Says, what's so frustrating for me is the defense has so much talent, but absolutely no fundamental discipline. That's the biggest problem right now is that while we have talent, the talent is being smothered by defensive mistakes. It's being masked by defensive mistakes. So while there is talent, you don't know about it because the mistakes are so loud. It's drowning out any sound of talent. You can't hear that. You can't hear the vocals because the music is too loud. It's frustrating. And the problem is this defense can sing like hell, but the music is just too loud. Redskins Review. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Redskins Review, writes, isn't the strength of this defense the line? Why are we rushing 3 linemen with 8 seconds left? We already had 2 sacks. Del Rio is on the hot seat, in my opinion. I didn't have a problem with them rushing 3. This wasn't like the end of the Falcons game when you like, look, they need a touchdown. Come after their ass. Don't let them get comfortable back there and launch it. Come after them because they got to have a touchdown. They didn't have to have a touchdown in that instance. So if you get too aggressive and they get 17 and get out of bounds, now you look like a dummy, and then we're going to be cussing out Del Rio for being too aggressive. I didn't have, bro, they rushed 3 and they dropped 8, and that's the end result. Like, that shouldn't happen when you drop 8 in coverage. That's the thing that's disheartening is, so he rushed 3. Then you definitely shouldn't be giving up a Hail Mary. That should be the last thing that you give up. That's why I said it's enough blame to go around for everybody. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You blitz and it doesn't get there, then well, we blitzing in that situation. You don't blitz and they have time. Why didn't we blitz? It's enough blame to go around for everybody because this is where we at with ours right now. We can't get right. We can't get right. CGM 87. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, can we send 23 back to Cincinnati and dump the cap space? Doesn't matter if you keep the receipt, which we didn't. Once you make the purchase, no returns. It's like shopping at the Nike clearance outlet. They tell you clearly before you make any purchases, ain't no returns here, bruh. All sales are final. All sales are final. No difference here. When you shop at the NFL free agent market, all sales are final. Be very, very selective. Go around and take a couple of trips around the free agent market if you like. Make sure the item that you put in your cart is exactly what you want and it's the right size and it fits. No, we don't have no dressing rooms neither. Don't ask. Know what size you wear. Know what you're looking for. Make sure that there are no threads coming out. There's no holes. There's no blemishes. Make sure everything is legit on the item you put in the cart. Because if you buy it, you ain't getting your money back. And we don't want the shit back. That's why it's there in the first place. We don't want the shit back. It's all yours. Have at it. Jared from. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Jared writes, WJ3 was a waste of money. Collins is so frustrating. This team broke me. Insanity. Keep watching and expecting different results for nearly 30 years. Oh, it's the story of my life as a fan. Honestly, is essentially the story of my life. But I'm too optimistic to quit. But I told you, I'm a glutton for punishment. I've told you guys this numerous times. I'm a glutton for punishment. Every year I come back, I do the same thing. I give myself reasons to be optimistic and why we have a shot. And I know better. I know better. I know what this team is going to do. And I give myself new reasons to believe. Ron gave me a new reason to believe. I still believe in Ron. I still believe in Ron's plan. That has not changed. And we're in year 2 of what I thought was a 4-year plan to begin with. So I'm not wavering. It's just frustrating when you're in the plan and you're not as far along in the plan as you thought you would be when you started the plan, which Ron has already acknowledged. And I can clearly see we are not where we thought we would be, because the defense was supposed to be the anchor and the catalyst to where we go with this plan, and it's far from it. So that's when you get frustrated as a fan. That's when you become dejected. When you feel like you're taking a step forward and you ultimately take 2 steps backwards. And not only are you not where you were when you first started, you actually feel like you're going in reverse. That's when the frustration sets in. How did we get here? There's a lot of football left to be played, but this could easily turn into one of those years. And again, I'm not one of those 2-15 people. That's not what this season is going to be. Although you could argue that we're better off being 2-15, because that's going to put you in a position to draft a quarterback that you want, even if there is one worth wanting, and I don't know that there is. But I can't sit through that. I'd rather us just trade up and do whatever it takes to get up to get the guy you want. F it. I don't want to instill losing in this culture. That was the reason I told you it was important that we made the playoffs last year, because you want these guys to get a taste of what it's like to play in the postseason. I said it already at least 3 times on this stream, because I sense the frustration. I feel it because I'm a fan and I know what that feels like. I know that emotion because I've gone through it many a time. Jarrett, I hear you and I feel you, man. I feel you. Thank you for the super chat. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Fat American writes, hot take, 2005 team could whoop 91 team's ass. I'm not even responding to that tomfoolery. Tony P56, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, minimal McKissick usage equals loss / max McKissick equals win. I think we've done that already. I've said that at least 3 times separately this season. I was pissed after week 1 when he didn't get any football touches really in the game. And I said they need to make it a point of emphasis to get him and Terry more involved next week. Just get your playmakers involved, I think, was more of the emphasis. But those were the guys in particular that I was referring to. And JD ended up having a bigger role the following week versus the Giants. And I say, see what happens when you get JD involved. Then we go to Buffalo and they forget to bring JD along on the trip. It's like they left him back at Ashburn. Like, that's frustrating. But then they come back and they say, JD, we love you. You know, hey, JD, baby, sorry about last week. Come on, man. Let's get you involved. And we win, including JD scoring the game-winning touchdown. And then in week 5, we go back to the same shit. JD who? What number does he wear? 41. Do we even have a 41 on our roster? The small guy. You know what? We forgot about him. Shucks. We'll get it to him next week. It's dumb. I shouldn't have to beg you to get J.D. McKissick involved. Even if it's a running back screen to J.D. McKissick out of the backfield. Even if it's a natural pick where you've got your 2 receivers on that same side running slants and J.D. McKissick's running out into the flats. A slant and flats combination. Just get it to him. I don't know. I guess we're just not smart enough to figure that out. But they are, clearly. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Fat American, writes, just stirring the pot, a lot of angry comments. I know you are. That's why I didn't even acknowledge it. Let's see. You guys are stupid. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a valued member of the MOBB. My guy Derek B writes, QB4 higher 18, 19, and 21, no more. Ron plus QB or plan dies. QB for higher 18, 19, and 21. No more. Ron, QB, plan, or dies. He says Ron plus QB plan dies. We're going to have to address it this year. I felt like we didn't have to address it until year 3 of Ron's plan. And I would have been cool with addressing it with a veteran. We tried after year 1. We tried after year 2 of Ron's plan. Came up empty both times. You know, swung and missed in year 1, looking for a big time acquisition there, and swung and missed again in year 2, looking for Stafford. The year 2, after year 1, they weren't really looking for a quarterback. They swung and missed on Amari Cooper in particular, but they definitely went after a quarterback last year and swung and missed. And I think they liked some of the quarterbacks, but they didn't love the ones that were going to be available to them in the draft last year. This year, they're going to have to figure something out. And like I said, you don't want them to force a pick on a quarterback that they don't necessarily love, because it's just going to put us back here again 3 to 5 years from now, and we're going to be even worse off as a fan base because of it. So you want them to get it right. You don't want them to just pick a quarterback for the sake of picking a quarterback, because we don't have one. You want them to get it right. I just don't know if that guy exists in the upcoming 2022 NFL draft or not. We'll see. We'll see. Kasim Worrells, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kasim writes, Terry is great. He was beating Laddie on most routes. Taylor can't keep underthrowing guys. That ball to Curtis was just flat out horrendous. HTTWFT. Look, Lattimore is a really good corner, but he can be beaten. I've seen dudes give him work. And I thought there were times where Terry was giving him work. There was times where Terry got worked. That's what big time matchups are supposed to be about. But Taylor made it as if he made it out to be like Lattimore was locking him down. And it felt that way watching it, when it really was just some poor placed footballs for Terry. Balls that are out in front of him, he's got to step on them. He's got to catch. But he got locked up today. Taylor made it that way. Taylor made it that way. That could have ended so much differently. Terry didn't have to go to jail today. Terry didn't have to go to jail today. He could have gotten away with a warning. The officer came up to the car, license and registration. You know how fast you were going? Nah, no, officer, I don't. You were going 81 in a 55. That's a reckless ticket. Terry could have got away with hey, look, man, I know you just said you worked a double. You're very tired. Roll your windows down, turn the music up. Be careful. He could have got away with a warning today. But Taylor didn't allow that to happen. Taylor had his car impounded, Terry thrown in the back of a squad car, and Terry goes to jail. It didn't have to end that way today. But Taylor didn't help him. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Big Money Sonny writes, this defense would make Dwayne Haskins look all world. Same trash every week. Soft team, no heart. This team should feel embarrassed. I don't think they would make Dwayne Haskins look all world. I don't. But I can tell you this. In the first 5 weeks of the season, we faced Justin Herbert. We faced Daniel Jones. We faced Josh Allen. We faced Matt Ryan. And we faced Jameis Winston. Every single one of those quarterbacks were first-round picks. Every single one. And in the case of Brian, number 1 overall pick. In the case of Winston, number 1 overall pick. Herbert was top 10. Jones was top 10. And Allen was top 10. So it's not like we're playing guys with no talent. I'm not trying to sit here and sell you on the fact that Daniel Jones is a beast. He did throw for 400 yards on this same Saints defense last week, though. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It's not like we played the little sisters of the poor in quarterbacks. Let's not make it out that we just gave up, 400 yards passing to, Davis Mills of the Houston Texans. That's not what we're doing here. We're getting carved up by good NFL quarterbacks, but we just thought we'd be better. So, anyway, I digress. Sonny Rawson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, "Hey Lou, unpopular opinion. Let's see what you got. I thought the run defense was excellent. I thought the defense gave us a chance to win. Lack of creative red zone play calling cost us. At end of the half touchdown deflated all momentum. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion amongst those of us who are open-minded. For those that have their mind made up that Jack Del Rio stinks and his play calling defensively is horrible and he's to blame, then yes, you can't convince them. But for the people that are open-minded like myself, and I think there are a lot more people out there like me that feel the same way I do, that's a spot-on assessment of what happened today. The run defense, I wouldn't say it was excellent. I think that's a bit of an overstatement. You can't give up a touchdown run from like 23 yards out and say that the run defense was excellent. But I thought the run defense was solid. Good enough for us to win, without a doubt. I thought the defense gave us a chance to win. I agree. Lack of creative red zone play calling. Stated that earlier. That was one of my biggest pet peeves of this game. I agree again. And the end of the half touchdown deflated all momentum. Couldn't agree with you more. Felt like that was the changing point in the game. Even though there was 2 quarters of football left, plenty of time, 30 minutes, it just felt like the air left our sails when that touchdown was given up. And then I had to relive it 8 million times because I'm watching 6 different games at once. And every single game had a game break of that Hail Mary. So I had to watch it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Just like they just kept digging in the womb. I was like, stupid ass Hail Mary. So yeah, it was rough. All right. Just ridiculous. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. I think this is your second super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Carter nice at wide receiver, but why not catch the punts? Why? I don't know why. Stop asking. I wish I had an answer for you. Like I said, after the first one, the first one I get. After the first one, I'm gonna catch these. But he didn't do it. So we'll see. Sonny Rawson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Sonny. My guy, Sonny Rawson, writes, we got off to a fast start, and we were playing with the lead for the first time in forever. I'm seeing growth. This season is not over, Lou. Stop it, shaking my head. When were we in front? You talking about 3-0? That's your fast start? We weren't ever really up in this game. They took the lead 7-3 immediately after we kicked the field goal. So I don't even know what lead you're referring to. But We then kicked the field goal. It was 7-6. And then they scored another touchdown and missed the extra point. So I don't recall leading in this game. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, I can be wrong from time to time. Let's see. Let me check the scoring in this game. We were up 13-7. And that lasted 4 minutes before the Saints scored a touchdown. We scored with 14 minutes and 16 seconds in the second quarter. And the Saints scored a touchdown with 10 minutes and 58 seconds in the second quarter. So if we played with a lead, and that's what you classify as playing with the lead, where the offense doesn't actually get to possess the football again with the lead, knock yourself out, Sonny. I bless your heart. I don't qualify that as we played with a lead. We were up 3-0. That lasted let's see how long that lasted. Okay. We were up 3-0. That lasted 1 minute and 14 seconds. Dustin Hopkins kicked a field goal with 12:27 left in the first quarter. With 11:13 left in the first quarter, it was 7-3. So in total, 114 plus 3, let's call it 345-ish. Let's round it. So 114, so let's call it 115, 5 minutes total of a 30-minute half. We were ahead, but we played with the lead. Keep in mind, the offense gave us the lead, and I say that very loosely, gave us the lead, and they never got the ball back with the lead. I don't really consider that playing with the lead. Playing with the lead is when you take the lead, the defense gets a stop, and the offense gets the football back with a chance to increase the lead. We never had that chance in the first half. So I see what you're trying to do, Sonny, and I'm not going to kill you for that. You're trying to be optimistic. Whatever you need to tell yourself to feel better, knock yourself out, Sonny. Please, by all means. I want you to be right. I want to be wrong. Nothing that I've seen from this team leads me to believe that you're right and I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I would love nothing more than to come back next week after a surprising upset win over the Chiefs to get back to 3-3 for you to say, Lou, I told you were tripping. We won, and this season is not over. I would love to bask in that glory with you next week. But I have a feeling next week is going to be much more of the same. Defensive breakdowns, missed opportunities, Mahomes carving us up on third downs, and the Chiefs scored 39 points and beat us 39-23. That's more likely than not what's going to happen next week, unless what you're talking about. But we'll see. I'm not going to knock your hustle. I'm not going to knock your hustle. Yep. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Yep. I just like saying that. Right. You know, it's a messed up game when Hopkins is one of the few who bothered to show up today. It wasn't hard, though. It's not like we trotted Hopkins out there from, 53 and he banged it. He did have one from like 48 and he banged it home. But most of his kicks were 31 and 27 because we were getting in the red zone. I think we were 1 of 5 in the red zone. 1 of 5 or 2 of 5. Let's see. I think we were 1 of 5 in the red zone. 2 of 5 in the red zone. We did score that last touchdown when we failed on the 2-point conversion. We were terrible in the red zone. Meanwhile, the Saints were 2 of 2. So I told the mob when we were watching the game, when we kicked the second time we kicked the field goal in the red zone, or it might have been the second time because we threw a pick in the red zone as well. The third trip that ended without a touchdown, which was the final field goal attempt. I said, and that made it 20-16. I said, if we lose this game, you know why. You need not look any further than that. Simple as that. Zacchaeus Maggette III, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I gave up alcohol in January, but thanks to this team, I'm drinking again. I'm sipping Moscato slow right now. Oh, don't give up your sobriety over this team. Zacchaeus, come on, man. You're stronger than that. And it's a fight every day, and I know it. Don't let this team get you to do things you don't want to do. Come on, Zacchaeus. You got to fight like hell, man. How bad you want it? Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, this team looks worse than the scrapnel in my toilet. I think we had that one last week. You're going to have to come with better than that. I don't know if it was from you or somebody else, but you got to come better than that. We had that one last week. I got another one here from Sonny Rawson. Thank you for the super chat, Sonny Rawson. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Heinicke missed a few key throws, but I really wasn't disgusted with this game like I was in Buffalo. Saw good things. I don't know how you could feel that way after watching the performance today. I felt like it was eerily similar to Buffalo. Some bad interceptions, some big misses. I was actually more encouraged in Buffalo, especially when we ran off 14 straight, than I was today. I mean, he went 20 of 41, man. He less than 50% completion percentage. Like, and I guarantee you at least 7 or 8 of those balls could have been completed that he missed on. I didn't feel as good as you did leaving this game on Heinicke. I'll say that. I told you, I love Taylor Heinicke. I want him here. He's a backup, though. He's a backup quarterback. Let's see. We got any more super chats? Big Money Sonny. My guy, Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Ron's plan is butt cheeks. A lot of y'all don't even understand what Ron's plan is. A lot of y'all thought we were winning 11, 12 games this year. If you thought we were winning 11 or 12 games this year, then you didn't get Ron's plan from the jump. A lot of y'all still don't understand Ron's plan. Ron's plan is going okay. It's not going according to plan, because if it were, the defense would be better. But as far as roster building is concerned, it is going according to plan. And it's actually going quite nicely from that regard. But we weren't supposed to win anything meaningful last year, and we're not supposed to win anything meaningful this year. You could argue that winning the division last year is actually stunting our growth this year, because winning the division, even though I wouldn't trade it for the world, because at some point you've got to man up against better competition. But had we finished third in the division like we probably should have last year, had the division not been asked, then we would have been playing a third place schedule this year. But that's nor here nor there. The bottom line is we did win the division, which I thought was priceless. And you do have a first place schedule, and you got to find a way to get it done. And we haven't done that thus far. I can tell you this right now. We'd be singing a totally different tune if the schedule makers didn't backload our schedule with NFC East games. If they would have sprinkled it, if we had the Eagles next week instead of the Chiefs, and before the bye week, we had the Giants again, or the Cowboys for the first time, instead of the Broncos, and they pushed a couple of those games back towards the end, we'd be feeling a lot differently than Chiefs, Packers, Broncos, Bucks, Raiders, Panthers, Seahawks, all in a damn row. And that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. That's just how it goes sometimes. But I'm definitely still on board with Ron's plan. But again, I'm not going to force anybody to stay in the car. You want out? There's the door. There is the door. Harvey Mills. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Harvey Mills writes, Heinicke isn't a rookie. I think we've seen his ceiling. Decent backup, more like a young Fitzpatrick. I kind of feel that way. I don't know if we've seen his complete ceiling, but we know that the floor is pretty low. And we know the ceiling is relatively high. And it's high enough to be a borderline starter. But he's a really good backup, I think, in this league. I think, like you said, a young Fitzpatrick. I think I said that at the top of the show. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's how I feel. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, 3 passes from the end zone and an interception was enough for me. T and T out. Yeah. I didn't love the 3 passes, although I did love the first down call to J.D. McKissick. I thought there was interference there by the linebacker. And then J.D. doing what J.D. does, tripping and slipping all over the damn place. And Taylor threw a horrible ball. So I did like that call. J.D. one-on-one with a linebacker. He wins across his face. And J.D. starts stumbling, bumbling all over the place. And the officials don't throw the flag because he got held. But Taylor didn't make a good throw either. So, and I see some of y'all comments. Oh man, with the phone run. Y'all are stupid. Jason Rogers, my guy. Thank you for the super chat. Double up. Uncle Jay says, y'all know ball. Why don't y'all know ball? Lou. I don't know. We know they know ball. I just don't understand why they don't know ball. I don't get it. They playing like they don't know what's going on. Armand Brown, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Armand Brown writes, Collins paid like Derwin James, playing like Adam Archuleta. Why so many players out of position? Jamin is an outside linebacker. Landon is a linebacker, not a safety. Kendall is a slot corner, not outside. Del Rio is old school, dumb. I will say this. I think there is this old school mentality and quality to Ron and Jack that I think can be a little off-putting at times, because I do think they view the game in a specific way and view it through a certain spectrum that may stunt the growth of this young football team. With that said, I need Ron to get to that place by himself, and I don't think he will. So I think him and Jack see the game very similar, which is why he went out and hired Jack to begin with. It's a tough position to be in, because as a head coach, you want guys that see things similar in the way that you do and approach it the way that you do. And I think those guys came up in that same era and do approach it the same way. They do see it the same way. And maybe their way of seeing it is somewhat antiquated. If you can coach defense, you can coach defense, though. Like, I don't think anybody's saying that about Vic Fangio, but sometimes, you don't have the answers. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, see if we got any more super chats. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Metaphor writes, I think Burger is a butcher, Lou, not buncher. Well, did it say butcher? I didn't look. I'm very phonetical. Okay. I read it the way I see it. I try to make sense of it sometimes. It might be Burger the Butcher. He didn't correct me. All right. But you probably are right. But he didn't correct me. He didn't say, he super chatted me many times and he had a chance to say, it's the Butcher. is pronounced the butcher, and I would have fixed it. But maybe that's the case. We'll see. If you're out there next time, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's an N in there. So I don't know. You know, I'm literal. So maybe I'm being too literal. Irish, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, love you, Lou, but I want some of whatever you're smoking if you put Heinicke as the #1 reason we lost today. Led to a touchdown to cut the lead and the D, then let them march back. But how many? So you just conveniently forget about the whole first half when the defense gave us a chance to build a lead. You just conveniently forget about that and then go straight to the part where he actually did something well. Yes, the defense gave it up right there after. I'm keenly aware. But he had a chance to do the shit he did on the drive before that. All first half and all third quarter, and he didn't do that. So I can't just ignore all of the things that he didn't do and just go straight to the defense, giving up the Hail Mary and the deep ball and this. The defense gave this team a chance to win this game early, not late, like they did last week. Last week, it was the direct opposite. I felt like this game was the direct opposite of everything it's been this season for us. Usually the defense gives us a chance late. They don't get no damn stops all game, and at the end, when we need them the most, they get them and give us a chance. In this game, they got all their stops at the beginning of the game. Forced turnovers, great field position. We should have been up big early. The Saints did everything they could to give us a chance, and Taylor Heinicke was awful. He was awful. Call a spade a spade. That drive you're referring to, how many runs were on that drive? Anyway, that fourth down conversion, that was clutch. That was nice. Make a play in the red zone, bro. Shit breaks down, use your legs, extend, make something happen. Don't keep backing up, and then throw it out the back of the end zone. Make something happen. They bailed us out on that same possession I think you're talking about. They bailed us out with a Terry call. That wasn't pass interference. You kidding me? We would have ended up having to settle for another damn field goal. I'm not going to sit here and let Taylor skate, and that's my guy. I'm not letting him skate. I can't do it. I won't do it. Sorry, Irish. The defense wasn't great. I'm not sitting here trying to make it seem as if they were. And they were one of the reasons we lost this game. Don't get it twisted. They're not #1. To me, Taylor Heinicke's play was #1. Because we could have outscored the Saints today. That's what we've been doing. Outscoring teams. We haven't been stopping anybody. We could have outscored the Saints today. We had 22 points with as bad as Taylor Heinicke played. We still scored 22 points today. We could have scored 34. We could have scored 35. We could have scored 38 today. We went 2 of 5 in the red zone with Heinicke throwing an interception on one of those failed red zone possessions. He's the #1 reason we lost this game. I'm sorry. I can't let him off the hook. I can't do it. Sorry, Irish. JB Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy JB writes, is it safe to say we are who we are and we aren't getting any better than this? No, you can't say that because the defense could get better. We saw signs, we saw flashes of this defense trying to get better today. They're fighting the good fight. And we know the offense can be better than what they are. I can tell you this. Are we inconsistent? Yes. And I think we'll be that for the entire year. Win one, lose one, play good, play bad on offense. Turn it over, not turn it over 1 week, turn it over 2-3 times the next week. I think that is who we are. Inconsistent. That's the DNA of a young team a lot of times. So, are we not getting any better than this? I won't go out on a limb and say, yeah, we're not getting any better than this season. I refuse to believe that. I do think we'll get better. I just think we're inconsistent. You don't know what team is showing up what week. Next week, we can get the team that we got in week 4 against the Falcons, and that might be enough to beat the Chiefs. They're struggling on defense. You know, you get Mahomes to try to be special once or twice and he turns it over, and you never know. And we don't turn it over, and Heinicke's playing at that level that we've seen him play at where he's in that zone. Who knows? But I think we're more inconsistent than anything else. F. Altus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly, I appreciate you. F. Altus, who writes, Lou, I don't know if it's been brought up already, but this game felt lost when RSJ tackled AG inside the Saints 5. Sad to watch at times. Nobody mentioned that. And yeah, that was when you're not good, you're not good. And those are the types of things that happen to teams that aren't very good. Literally, you can't get out of your own way. Like, that's the definition of you get not being able to get out of your own way. You know? Yikes. Oy vey. That was a second down play. I didn't feel like all was lost when I watched it. I just said, oh my God, we just wasted a down. Now it's third down and goal from the 7 instead of the 5. And you're like, golly. But I still felt like Heinicke can make something happen on third and goal from the 7. So it is what it is. Jeffrey Worrell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Jeffrey. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for doubling up. Irish, thank you for doubling up. Double up. Thank you for being a valued member of the MOBB as well. My guy Irish writes, also, Heinicke was bad today, but the defense is by far and away the reason the team lost. Ain't no QB winning 30-plus point shootouts every single week. I beg to differ. There are some quarterbacks out there that can win those every week, but he's not one of them. But what I'm telling you is, even with the way the defense played today, the end result didn't have to be the way that it was if the offense played better, if Taylor Heinicke played better. That's why he's the number one reason we lost this game. Because we have to go into every game assuming we have to score 35 to have a shot. And I'm not setting the standard any lower for the defense. We just know what it is. We've got a large enough sample size to know, okay, this is what the defense is. But even with that being said, the defense forced 2 first-half turnovers and set this team up with ample opportunities with great field position, something I have been bitching and complaining about all season long. Heinicke and the offense had opportunities, and he did not take advantage. This is a totally different game. First thing I wanted to do was make Jameis Winston beat us. Stop them from being any kind of balance. You know what? If Heinicke would have taken advantage of those opportunities early, would have done? It would have forced the Saints to scrap their whole game plan and start anew. And starting anew would have meant it. Look, they didn't even have Taysom Hill. Like, you know how big of a part of that game plan he would have been? They didn't have him after the first quarter. We were sitting pretty. And the fact that we couldn't put pressure on Jameis Winston to have to beat us by himself because the offense couldn't take advantage of opportunities. How many stops did we get? Let's see how many possessions there were in this game. Let me see. So there were 13 possessions by the Saints in this game. And they scored on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They scored on 5 of 13 possessions. One, mind you, is a Hail Mary, which is bullshit, but whatever. Meanwhile, there was an interception on the opening possession, a forced fumble on the third possession of the game, and all we had to show for all of that was 13 points. Not to mention Taylor Heinicke threw an interception in the red zone. In the red zone. Poor throw, poor decision. And I know you're not trying to defend Heinicke's play. But we'll have to agree to disagree. The defense was terrible. When we needed them, they didn't show up. Yada, yada, yada. But I can't lay this in the lap of the defense as the sole reason, or as the biggest reason, excuse me, we lost this game. I'm going to continue to say that Taylor Heinicke is the reason we lost this game. Number one reason, that is. Not the only reason, but the number one reason. Missed too many throws in this game. Made too many bad decisions. Put the ball in harm's way too many times. He's the reason we lost this game. Number one reason we lost this game. Jack Clements, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, I love this effing team, but holy hell, I'm deflated. Yeah, I am too. This one stings because I really thought we were the better team, and I really thought we had a chance to win this game. I really did. Justin Hodge, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for this being a member of the MOBB. My guy Justin Hodge writes, in late, Lou, sorry, I watched the replay. Just want to show some love. Hey, I appreciate that, Justin. I really, really do, man. Thank you so much for the support. J-Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy J-Mart writes, watching the football team look like Wilder last night, out on its feet. They showed heart like Wilder did, but, you know, to no avail, you know. Super Chef, stand up, Super Chef. You are now officially in the building as a brand new member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you, Super Chef, for becoming a member of the squad. Mob, you know what to do. Show Super Chef some love. Welcome aboard. We're so glad to have you, Super Chef. Joe Rockhead J, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Joe Rockhead J, who writes, team name should be TWBB. Thought we'd be better. I think you've probably been able to say that at least 5 to 6 times over the last decade. So, yeah. Super Chef, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Super Chef. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Gunny Man writes, somebody tell Turner we don't have Brady, but a guy starting his 6th game. This shotgun-eccentric offense is for Saturdays. That's Turner's offense, bro. You've been watching it for the last 2 years. You know what it is. It's not going to change, no matter who's behind center. That's what his offense looks like. And you're right, we don't have Brady, but there were enough plays out there to be made that got left on the field. That's for sure. See if we got any more super chats. And we do. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, our D definitely started faster today. O ended slower. Yeah. The D gave us a chance early to build a lead. And it was foreshadowing what was to come because they said, hey, we ain't going to be able to help y'all late. You better get this lead while it's there to be got because we're going to run out of gas at some point. And they gave us opportunities. There was a lot of punts by the Saints in this game, a lot of, a couple of turnovers early. This defense gave us a chance, which is why I can't put the blame squarely on their shoulders. Yeah, it'd be great for them to step the hell up when we needed them to, when the offense finally decided to wake up and get a field goal and not give a touchdown back, or the offense go down the field and get a touchdown to not give that touchdown rate back. Yeah, it'd be nice if they did that. But we had our opportunities before all of those events took place. You knew that at some point the defense was going to fall flat on its face, and the offense needed to take advantage of those opportunities before they decided to fall flat on their face, and they did it. And so that's your end result. Okay. There's no N in there. I don't know where where did I get the N from? I could have sworn. Did you just delete the N? You trying to pull a fast one on me, Burger the Butcher? Man, I'm not tripping. There was an N in there before. And you deleted that N to make me look like a damn fool. Thank you for the super chat, Burger the Butcher. You try to make me look like a damn fool. You deleted that N, man. I'm not tripping. There was an N in there before. Anyway, Burger the Butcher. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, it's Butcher, bro. LOL. Ioannidis was balling though. He almost had that safety. Ioannidis played some good ball. The defensive line as a whole, I thought was good today. So thank you for the super chat. Burger the Butcher. I ain't crazy. Big Money Sonny. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I got Big Money Sonny writes, Collins is an idiot. He said the defense wasn't prepared for the Hail Mary. They were expecting a field goal, team full of simpletons. I told you, I'm going to tell you what I thought. I thought they were going to try to run a 5 to 7 yard outcut, get out of bounds, and kick a field goal. They're not alone, but that doesn't matter. Once you got into the end zone and you saw the ball in the air, you don't need to be prepared to jump and knock the damn ball down. Now, do you? But he's not wrong in that they weren't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared. I told you what I thought they were going to do. Most reasonable people, they're right around midfield. They don't need much. They were like at the 47 or so. You get 7 or 8 yards, that's a 55-yard field goal attempt. That's what I thought they were going to do. When Jameis scrambled around, I said, oh, shit, they're going, thank you, Jesus. They about to throw up a Hail Mary. We're going to halftime tied. I was excited about that because I thought we were going to give up the 10-yard out, go out of bounds, and now it's a 52-yard field goal attempt. I thought we were going to give that shit up. So I knew that they weren't prepared, but you a football player, bro. Once you run down into the end zone and you get back there into your stance and you see the ball coming, jump your ass in the air and knock the shit down. John McDowell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I got John McDowell writes, the D secondary coaches need to break up the positional rooms and get these guys into one room because they're not playing in sync. I mean, I think they're around each other a little bit more, but yeah, they definitely need more communication. I can't stress that enough, but it is what it is. That's the last super chat, man. So we get out of here. What a disappointing Sunday that was. I really had high hopes for the team this week. And I was really looking forward to winning this game and having a big showdown against the Chiefs next week. 2 3-2 teams needing it badly, riding 2-game win streaks after starting out 1-2 as division winners last year. I had all these storylines in my head. That shit can all go in the garbage can now. We're inconsistent. We're either poorly coached, don't receive coaching well, or both. And we don't seem to respond to the moment all that well. You know, there were moments in this game where plays needed to be made. And that's the inconsistent part, because we've seen Heinicke make plays at clutch situations. We've seen him do that before. But there were too many opportunities left on the football field. So anyway, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie Tee, here on Washington Football Overtime. Saints 33, Washington 22. Washington is now 2-3 on the season, with a couple of big ones coming up in the next few weeks that'll really determine the direction of this season. If they're serious about having a season, they're going to have to win one of these next 2 games. Somehow, some way. Packers are vulnerable. So are the Chiefs. But I don't know if we're the team to actually make them vulnerable. So we'll see what happens. J Mart writes, Lou, the only highlight is Notre Dame won. Quarterback sucks as well. Notre Dame, once they lost last week, I didn't even watch the game this past week. I'm not going to lie to you. Didn't even watch it. And they barely beat Virginia Tech. So anyway, I digress. I am a Washington fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Washington spirit will never die. Washington spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington football team. Look forward to chopping it up with you guys tomorrow on Washington Football Nightly. I'll see some of you again tonight for Sunday Night Football Overtime. And you should be watching if you're a Washington fan. We have these Chiefs next week coming to FedEx. So you should be scouting them tonight and getting a glimpse at what's to come next week. Could be a total ass thrashing in the making. Get you some tonight so you can prepare yourself mentally for what's to come next week. Either way, The Phillies Ace 34 will take us out of here, take us home. Thank you for the super chat. The Phillies Ace 34. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Louie, the only good thing was my Eagles won, and Dallas is so damn lucky. Fly, Eagles, fly. Your defense needs to get better. That was a hell of a comeback by your Eagles today, I must say. I left y'all for dead after the fumble or the bad snap. They should have recovered that. That's when I thought they lost the game. If they go up 20-3 there, you lose. But instead, it goes out of the back of the end zone, it ends up a safety, and your defense battled their asses off. Picked off Darnold 3 times today. I think 3, might have been 4. Darius Slay was an absolute man beast. And I think Stephen Taylor came up clutch late in the game when you needed it. So your defense was outstanding. The pass rush was great. You're doing everything defensively we thought we would be doing this year. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little bit jealous of your defense. That's nor here nor there. JB Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. JB writes, you say Ron and Jack are set in their ways. The hill they die on coaching. If the league has caught up to what they hope we do, he said, if the league has caught up to that, what hope do we have at getting better? I don't know. You just hope that these players take to coaching a little bit better. That's the only thing you can hope. But I'm not saying that what I said was true. I don't know if that's the case. I do think they're a little stuck in their ways. I do think it's a new age in coaching, and you're seeing guys like Brandon Staley as a defensive mind come along and be really successful because there are different ways to doing things than how they do it. But football is football. A lot of times it's not that hard. Guys are making it harder than what it really needs to be. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we'll see. The hope is that guys start to coach better, or they start to get guys in there that take to coaching better and execute on the field. But we'll see what happens, JB. That's the only thing we can do is just hope and pray that changes are made and guys start to get it. But after 5 weeks seeing the same mistakes, what leads you to believe that that's going to be the case? So that's going to do it for me, your man, Louie T. Thank you guys for joining me. Look forward to chopping it up with you guys in the near future. Go back and go and watch some football that's going to cause you less stress. Go watch some baseball. Go watch something else that you won't be as invested in. And we'll come back and we'll chop it up tomorrow about this opportunity that got away from us. This is frustrating. It really is. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a good one.